Almost 2 years with the Blauskis and the most entertaining streamer.
I wouldn't say I'm the most entertaining, but Arsenal, thanks to the tier 3, 22 months. Oh, chat, we got some good stuff for you guys today. We are back. I also just have a lot of updates for you guys. Life updates. Yo. Okay. Is this thing working? Oh, shit. Hello. What's up, chat? All right. What's up? What's up? Long time since I caught a stream. Dude, I have not, chat, I will admit, I haven't been streaming much. I've been a part-time streamer the last couple months. So I wanted to update you guys a little bit on why that is. I'm praying. I'm just kidding. A couple things. First of all, recently, the insulin stuff was fucking rough. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was rough. For those wondering, I had insulin, but I basically was going back to the olden ways of taking a shot. It'd be like, it's like if all of a sudden someone replaced your smartphone with like a fucking Razr flip phone and you had to like operate with that for like a week, except the smartphones also deliver a hormone that's necessary for you to live. It's kind of like that. So I was having to do like manual shots, but we are back. I have the pump working again. The reason why all this happened, and it just kind of sucks. I was just changing insurances. Like I was getting a new insurance policy and my insurance wasn't talking to my pharmacy. But like, there's just like I'm like calling every day trying to like get this thing to work with this thing and like all this stuff. Whole mess. It's fixed now. We're moving forward. No, yeah, we don't. I was considering doing the insulin subathon. That would have been funny. You know what's really kind of sucks though is like for a little bit of this, I wanted to just pay more. I want to be like, yo, here's a couple $1,000. Fucking give me my. I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even pay to fucking play. So that kind of sucked. I'm moving.
I'm glad you're doing well.
This is the second to last stream in this streaming setup. You guys will see a brand new one. One of the bright sides of it is it's actually going to be in a like studio. I will now have a blocked off studio room so I can finally fucking control my own lighting, and my editors won't get pissed at me for having to like fucking deal with the fact that my lighting changes depending on what time of day I stream. This place is so cute. Next place will definitely be less cute, but probably better designed, and my editors won't fucking hate me for all the lighting issues I cause them. As for where I'm moving, I don't even know who. I'm a neighbor, some whatever the fuck that means, around that area. More importantly, though, I do have a roommate. The very man who made my streaming career, Abe, will be my roommate. Me and Abe are messaging about various rules that we have in the new place. One of them is going to be we have a jar of shame. If you don't go to the gym or do a Chloe Ting exercise or do a full set of like pull-ups and body weight exercise, you either have to do a Chloe Ting ab exercise, go to the gym, or have done like cardio, like went on a hike or something like that, or you can do like a body weight circuit. And if you don't do that in a given day, you will have a jar of shame. Now, when a bunch of us were, when me and Abe were sharing this idea to other people, Foosley was like, well, I think the jar of shame should go to me. I will take the money. And then I realized that was a terrible idea, because then Leslie will try to find any way to get me and Abe to not go to like, she'll probably try to sabotage us to get us to not go to the gym. Blau, We will be okay as long as you more prominently display RebChan's art in your stream background. Yes, I am bringing a lot of the RebChan art with me. John, thanks for the 3 years.
3 years.
And John, a known Oiler. You know, this is like I never really did, but like I would like to do it. I've never seen a community do this in a way I wanted to do it, but I did want to see some sort of reward for Oilers, something cool for the Oilers. Maybe even on the like stream ending, I should just get like a little like list. I'll literally just fucking manually put it in. Like shout out, Dave, you're in the chat. Dave does graphics. Dave, what do you think about? I mean, like literally, it doesn't even have to be fucking automated. We could just manually just find like our top 10 Oilers or like top 5 Oilers. Let me know what you think of that, Dave. I'd give people random work. As for displaying more RebChan art, very easy to do. That will be done more. Who was I talking? I was actually talking to send all the oil to Diddy. I hear he has enough. You know, I actually really like that there's something really cool about my like kind of just overall aesthetics of the stream now. The fact that it's like it's literally 3 people have been doing it. It's RebChan, Dave, and I Spam Laugh. And like they've been doing it for years, and they do it for like it's funny. It's like all like OG like Clean Boys people have been doing that. What's up, Crams? Talking to ya. Okay, chat. I'm on this like side of TikTok where it's the talk to a podcast, but it's just people dubbing over it, or like analyzing the talk to a podcast, and they're just like, yeah, you know, Haley brought up a really good point in the most recent episode of the Talk to a Podcast about Russian troop movements in the 18th century and why that was an outdated form of like, and they're basically just like, just making up whatever's on the Talk to a Podcast and saying it's usually related to like, yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions about 16th century naval warfare, which I'm really glad that the Talk to a Podcast has been covering more in depth. And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyways, what's up, guys? Wow, did the insulin issue cause you to be in the thick of it? Is that a meme? This is my TikTok for you page at the moment. All right, let's get it started today, guys.
From the screen to the ring to the pen to the from the screen to the ring to the pen to the
Okay, I have a question. I have a question. You guys agree that KSI is rage baiting this, right? Like I like, even if he didn't mean for it to be this bad, like that it was this bad, the fact that he's like calling everyone to like get their reactions to it. Are we doing Liar's Bar today? It would be great with you. Guys, I have a Liar's Bar lobby. I would like to announce the return of one of my favorite lobbies. I will be playing Liar's Bar with Foosley, Z-Tark, and Dimoke, which is on it. That's the squad I want to play it with. That's the squad. I think I'm going to try and plan for Tuesday, which is my birthday. I'm trying to plan out what we're doing for my birthday. So I think what we're going to do is, if you guys can come up with good ideas for this. So I think we're going to do the roast of Blau on my birthday. And the roast of Blau is going to start we're gonna do a few things for it, okay? Chat will be allowed to roast me with text-to-speech donos. I'm going to sit in a Discord call and encourage everyone to come in and shit talk me for a day. Anything goes. They can say whatever the fuck they want. Like, you know, my friends, so it'll be a chance for my friends to come and roast me and chat to come and roast me. I just am trying to think of twists for it, or is it really as simple as I just sit in a Discord call and just get fucking roasted? You know? Hint, Foosley always puts a fake card on her first in Liar's Bar. Don't tell her I leaked her strat. I like that. That's sick. I wish clips meant that I could send a song I wrote and generated the lyrics and instrumental for with an AI program that I posted to my YouTube channel, but I know that doesn't count. Well, despite the fact that that's shameless self-promotion, I will literally let you do that today because, chat, today we're talking about robots and AI. It's time. By the way, I want you guys to know what I did. I watched this event and I dumped a bunch of fucking money into Tesla stock. I invested a fuck ton. Okay. Like, dude, this is, I am not in your Discord, sadly. Please send info. You can literally just post the YouTube link in chat, my guy. You can just post it in chat and we'll watch your song. You don't have to be in my Discord. It's okay. Anyways, I put a bunch of money into Tesla stock. Before or after? After. The stock went down after this. 014 coming to the robo. Okay, I need to say a couple of things because I'm not trying to get canceled for investing in Tesla. Okay, couple of things. They're fucking public. They're a publicly traded company. I'm investing in Tesla. My thoughts on Elon Musk. I actually think Elon Musk has like a cool vision of humanity in the future. I think when Elon Musk is on his like, I'm thinking about like fucking terraforming Mars shit and like autonomous workers, I think that's cool. I don't fucking support him politically or like the other crazy shit he does. He's cringe as fuck on Twitter and all that shit's fucking weird. But like, I actually do think he's you king. Elon's an absolute. Listen, chat. Can someone be both like an absolute dipshit in one regard, but like you're like, I think they kind of cooked there. Why did you invest in Tesla? Why did I invest in Tesla? I'll explain. I use Waymo. I've been using Waymo in LA. I find Waymo to be really good. It's phenomenal. I love self-driving cars taking me around. So I think Waymo is really good. What's Waymo? Waymo is Google's self-driving cabs. So hold on. Hold on. Woman stuck inside Waymo car by man asking for her number. Yeah. Your robo-taxi's here, but can you trust it?
Driverless cars are here.
Definitely a magical experience.
It just was just smooth, it just works.
This is crazy. Like, I heard about this when I was a kid, but like, it's here now.
But the public is still divided.
I wouldn't trust it.
I just kind of believe that the car should be driven by a person.
I can't imagine a car driving off the bridge and then navigating around here with all the people walking and...
Waymo is in pole position, delivering 22 million driverless miles in Los Angeles, San Francisco.
So I have access to it in Los Angeles. I think it's great. It feels safer to me than Uber drivers. And for the record, this is as someone who doesn't really drive as much anymore. And I think we're moving more towards like less people driving and more people. So there's an interesting reason why I invested in Tesla. It's not just the driverless cars. It's that I think I actually think Elon has a pretty smart idea, or like, I think there's an innovative, and I don't know if it's Elon or who else at Tesla came up and is pushing for this vision. I think the idea of you owning a autonomous vehicle that you can then lend out to drive other people while you are at work is really fucking smart. I think it's smart because it bridges the gap between the current ecosystem of everyone in the United States owns cars and we have infrastructure built for cars, and some weird future where everything is just completely automated. I think it's like actually a good way to bridge that gap. Why aren't you driving that much anymore? I don't like driving. I like, do you guys want the honest answer, chat? I like to play Hearthstone Battlegrounds while I'm in an Uber. I like to respond to messages while I'm in an Uber, get work done, you know? So that's why, and so one of the reasons why I think Tesla in particular has a good angle for this is they're going to build the software and the hardware together. I think Waymo is by far the best right now. By the way, Waymo is owned by Google. I think they have by far the best software around all this, but at the end of the day, they are building it with pre-existing cars in mind. Like they build it with, right now it's Jaguars, and I think it's eventually going to be Hyundai. The public didn't consent to be in this experiment. This shit is not at the level it needs to be on the streets, and it's just out there driving around. That's wrong. Like, I don't know how to tell you, but like any way you look at the numbers, that's just wrong. Like, of the Waymo driverless miles, it causes less car accidents. It causes less issues than people. So that's just wrong. And when you say the public doesn't consent to it, I'm sorry, did the public consent to fucking psychopaths driving on the road, drunk drivers, do you want to know a really big issue actually the United States faces that people don't even talk? I'm sorry, but like, and this is like actually a controversial thing. Old people should not be driving. Old people shouldn't be driving. And people view that as like an ageist statement. But even my family personally had to deal with this, where my grandma, eventually we had to stop her, like she had to stop driving. And the reality is she should have stopped driving 20 years earlier. And it took her getting into a pretty severe accident where she did end up injuring someone else, thankfully not like critically, but someone else got injured in an accident because my old grandma was still driving, because the entirety of our transportation and systems in the United States are built around individuals driving a car. And then all of a sudden, now people can live a lot longer, but really, frankly, shouldn't be driving. So depends what old is. I guarantee you there are, I'm not even saying thousands, millions of people are too old to be driving in the United States right now and should not be driving. But the reality is, like, the driver's license or the right to own a car and drive the car, they give to people. And then it's like, bro, like there are people out on the roads right now that cannot pass eyesight tests and cannot pass basic, simple driving tests. And so for someone to say something like, when did the public consent to these experiments that are dangerous from Waymo and Tesla? I'm like, bro, their shit is actually the thing that's heavily regulated. Theirs is the stuff that's extremely safe. The answer is public transportation, not untested driverless vehicles. Shadow Tom Nook, you realize they are tested driverless vehicles. They go through a bunch of testing before then they are allowed to be tested in a city. And then once they're proven in that city, they can go to another city. So Shadow Tom Nook, how do you feel about the fact that Waymo is safer than normal drivers? What Shadow Tom Nook, would you be okay with it if I told you that per miles driven, there are less accidents with Waymo? Tom Nook, Shadow Tom Nook, where are your bells at, buddy? Because then if you're like, because again, I need to know if like you're willing to even, like, where does this debate come from? Because if you're like, hey, oh, I didn't know that they're safer per miles driven. Oh, but now that I know that, I guess it's okay. So, you know, like whenever you come into like a discussion about this stuff, you have to be willing to like change your mind, right? Tom Nook, we're waiting for you to respond. Like I don't trust Elon at all. That was your response. Your response was I don't trust Elon at okay. It's okay, you know what? Hold on. It's time. It's time. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, tonight we have your special, your daily Blau One Guy Challenge. Spam Blau One Guy in the chat. Today, Blau faces off against Shadow Tom Nook, a chatter, to discuss autonomous vehicles. Are they safe or not? Here we go. Okay, fuck. All right. My first response, and Shadow Tom, you said I don't trust Elon at all. Okay. I was talking about Waymo. Waymo is owned by Google. They are actually a competitor to Elon Musk and Tesla. Now, so do you not trust Google? Maybe that's your response. I don't trust Google. Waymo safety by numbers. All right, let's look it up. According to Waymo, their driverless vehicles are safer than human drivers, with fewer crashes, injuries, and police reports. Airbag deployment crashes, 84% fewer than human drivers. Injury-causing crashes, 73%. Oh. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. How did I learn that? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's that one theme that's like do 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 do? What's that one theme that I'm thinking of? Fuck, how's it go? You guys know the ones like do 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 do. Do you guys know what's that one? X-Files. Thank you. All right, play the actually wait, I can do it here. Hey Google, play the X-Files theme. Hey Google, volume 10. Oh wait, can you guys hear this? Do you guys hear it? My damn Google just responded, thanks. But well, now you guys have the vibe, okay? Oh shit. Can you guys hear that? Guys, I Googled Waymo's safety numbers, but I used Google to look for the safety numbers. But Google is what owns Waymo. So if the chatter responds with, I don't trust Google, how do I even, like what do I do? They've checkmated me. I might have lost this one guy. It's the perfect, we could use Bing. We could use Bing. Oh shit, we should Bing it. Okay, well, hold on one second. Hey Google, stop playing the music. And then I used Google to play the X-Files. Okay, wait. So Shadow Tom Nook, what's your response to this? Waymo, the robo-taxi unit of Alphabet Google, is releasing an analysis of their crash data. The Waymo site claims that after 22 million miles of operation with nobody behind the wheel, mostly in Phoenix, but with a fair chunk in San Francisco, their vehicles have far fewer crashes of 3 main types than human drivers. Yeah, like, okay. Do you know what's crazy about this? Everyone always like questions this data. Meanwhile, I see it and I'm like, yeah, duh. Like, people fucking suck at driving. Are you kidding me? Wait, Shadow Tom Nook left? What was his last message? Wait. Do I win? Wait, their last message was, I don't trust Elon. Fuck. You bullied him? I didn't bully him. Okay. My issue is with driverless cars needing more testing. I got heated when I heard you putting money in Tesla after that dog shit. Oh, we'll talk about the presentation. But my issue is with driverless cars needing more what is needing more test? Oh, they're still here. Okay. What does that mean, needing more testing? What does that mean? They're already safer than people. I agree they should still be tested. They're getting more testing now, but they're already safer than people. Right? And then the really funny thing about how self-driving cars are is it's actually not a vicious cycle. It's actually a virtuous cycle. The more self-driving cars there are, the safer they actually become, because the biggest issue they run into is how fucking insane humans are. And we're the ones that actually fuck up their systems. And if there's a network of self-driving cars, they can communicate with each other, becoming even safer. Self-driving cars network effects. Network effects in the context of self-driving cars, AVs, refers to the phenomenon where the value of AVs increases as more users adopt them. This is because AVs can update maps as they drive, which improves the maps and makes the car safer and more efficient. So there's map accuracy. And I think the biggest one is connectivity. They'll be able to literally talk to each other and be safer that way. Good luck getting competitors to opt into that, though. Yeah, no, like, I think that's actually a good piece of legislation. Like, I would actually, if I was the United States, I would want to legislate and say, hey, you can have independent software from Tesla and Google, but you have to, like, there has to be some degree in which they share things to make things safer. I would force that. Apologize to him, Blau. Wait, what's this? Let me see this. Bro, I swear to God, people don't know this until you go to Japan. The most common word you hear in Japan is sumimasen. Sumimasen. Oh, sumimasen. They're just so respectful and nice there. Okay, I don't have faith in our government to make sensible legislation on emerging technologies. Bro, our government doesn't make sensible legislation on the existing technologies. That's why fucking old fucking people are driving cars and killing people. Like, dude, you got like how do you guys want to win? I'm saying they, like, the problem is, it would be one thing if they weren't safer, and I'm trying to debate with chat on ways to make them safer and why the future will be safer with them. They're already safer, chat. Self-driving cars are already safer than people. We suck at they're already safer. So everything I'm talking about, whether the legislation happens where Tesla and Google share data, doesn't fucking matter because they're already safer. I just want more public transportation for Uber, Lyft drivers to be paid a living wage. That's fine. You can want more public transportation and also see the benefit of this in the future, right? So I still, Shadow Tom Nook, I still don't think you've proven your point, right? Because I showed you data that shows that these are safer. So why are they like what's your argument? You could also say that they ran the test when doing the Google Maps Street View mapping with driverless cars. Well, I mean, that's actually one of the reasons why I think Waymo has a huge advantage is because they just have better mapping because of Google. And yeah, who's to say that you don't use these systems for local transportation? Like, why not? Like, you guys realize that you can create, like, it's not like when people say public transit, who do you think makes the trains? Ye old public train company? No, it's a private company that makes, like, you guys realize, like, public transportation is partnered with private companies to then provide it. So you can use this technology and have the public partner with it. Anyways, we haven't even gotten into this. Anyway, so for those wondering, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I invested in Tesla because I love Elon Musk. I'm a big Musk dick rider. I am voting for Donald Trump. I love Trump. I disagree. Any of your political takes that you have that you express on Twitter, I disagree with them. Thank you so much. I realize maybe it's just easier for me to just fucking tank it instead of trying to like justify why. As I invested in Tesla because I think what they showed was pretty fucking cool. What's funny is another reason why, like legitimately another reason why I thought of investing in Tesla is I actually think Elon Musk fucks their public perception so much that so many people like literally sold Tesla stock or don't believe in Tesla because of Elon Musk. When I'm like, I'm pretty sure like when I'm like, who are like the brightest, like actual people making the technologies, like making the hardware, making the software. I'm like, I'm pretty sure probably the brightest people in the US are probably at Google or Tesla. Like, there probably a lot of them are at Tesla and they're probably doing a pretty good job. So yeah, exactly. Buying low. I'm hoping people tank it. Yes, and I hate women. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Let's actually check this out, chat. Let's try to judge this outside of the cringe that is Elon Musk, okay? Can we do that? I hope so. Kind of left here looking at an ad. Okay, if you're left here looking at an ad based on what the streamer just said, guys, remember to sub with Twitch Prime or with whatever. No sarcasm. I think the robot is connected to a human speaking to those people. Thoughts, Blau? If that's the case, then it's a whole sham, and it's kind of like the what's the famous chess? Well, there you guys go. 20 gifted subs coming in from Riser Merlin. So you guys don't have to. I'll spin the wheel for that. Yeah, we can learn about that after. What's the do you guys know what I'm talking about? The chess player? Was it the Russia or the Turkish robot, right? The robots are remote control. I don't think they're remote controlled. I think that'd be pretty risky of them to do that and have the, Mechanical Turk. I think that's pretty risky of them to have them be like, I feel like in the days of the Mechanical Turk, we'll talk about the Mechanical Turk after this, okay? It'll be part of this conversation. like that's risky for them to do.
Welcome to the We Robot Party. So we have quite a show for you tonight. I think you're gonna like it. As you can see, I just arrived in the Robotaxi, the Cybercab, and there's 20 more where that came from. So they've been traveling. There's no people.
One reason why I invested in Tesla is Tesla has pretty massive infrastructure to make more cars. Like they have pretty massive car making infrastructure. I worry that even if Waymo has the advantage from already having their shit out there and from having good data from Google, I worry that they have to basically put all that stuff onto cars that already exist. They have to do it onto Jaguars. They're going to do it with Hyundai EVs eventually, but they have to kind of like already like jerry rig other cars to do that. Whereas Tesla just gets to build it from the ground up to be autonomous. So
people in them, as you can see, the cars just.
Waymo needs to build factories. Tesla is self-reliant with that. I don't think if I'm Google, I don't build factories. I trust that if it takes off, car manufacturers, like, you know what it's almost like? It's almost like how they competed with iPhone, with Android, where it's like, we'll just trust other companies to make the hardware and then we'll just give you the software. That's what I think they'll probably do.
It's going by with no people.
I doubt Google gets into the business of making factories.
And we have 50 fully autonomous cars here tonight. So you'll see.
One thing that I don't know if I like, as cool as they look, I genuinely don't mind how goofy Waymo cars look with the fucking spinning LiDAR detectors all over them. I don't care if you have to make the car look goofy, if it's functional. I get a little nervous seeing these. I'm like, where's the fucking LiDAR detectors, bro? Like, I mean, I'm sure they're built in and like hidden and stuff. Like, I would rather we go for function instead of form.
Model Ys and the Cybercab, all driverless. You'll be able to take a ride in the Cybercab. There's no steering wheel or pedals. So I hope this goes well.
Given the build quality of the Cybertruck, okay. The build quality of the Cybertruck is terrible. I would not trust Tesla. I would not want Tesla to be making me a fucking rugged off-roading truck, especially when people compared it to like the Ford F50 or F-150. I was like, dude, like, bro, Ford makes fucking, like, I don't care about the durability. You know what's even crazy? I actually don't care so much about the durability of a regular car, of even like a regular Tesla. Do you know what I care about more than anything when it comes to a car? Safety. And the reality is, and maybe you guys don't talk about this, is another reason why I've invested in Tesla. Tesla's cars are fucking safe. I don't know about the Cybertruck actually, but they're like they're more standard cars are the safest fucking cars. They are insanely safe.
Well, I think the cost of autonomous transport will be so low that you can think of it like individualized mass transit.
I would also expect these cars to be to actually add in I would expect the cyber, or whatever they're calling it, robo-taxi cyber cars, to probably add in take us to another generation of safety for cars, because they don't need to have a like driving wheel, dashboard, gear shift. Like a lot of the functionality, or like a lot of like tools they can take out of the car, and that's additional room for a whatever it is, crumple zone or like impact zone, additional room for airbags, etc.
The average cost of a bus per mile for a city, not the ticket price because that is subsidized, but the average price is about $1 a mile. Whereas the cost of Cybercab we think probably over time, from the operating cost is probably going to be around 20 cents a mile. And price, including taxes and everything else, probably ends up being 30 or 40 cents a mile. So yes, and you will be able to buy one.
That's a part that's so interesting to me. Like, I just think that's such an interesting business model. And it's this interesting concept of, if I own one of these, I can now get around and I can now rent it so other people use it and I earn back the money that I spent to buy it in the first place. Right now, chat, and by the way, this is coming as someone who like has the most janky Jeep Wrangler. Someone pull up the Twitter video. Someone find the Twitter video of my Jeep Wrangler. My Jeep Wrangler is a manual car. That's manual transmission. Most people in chat, especially my American frogs, don't know how to drive manual. Maybe some of my EU frogs still know how to drive manual. My car is manual transmission. The windshield wipers are roll up. They are manual. The radio does not work. The speakers are blown out, and my car does not have a roof. It is the exact opposite of a futuristic Cybertruck, right? Or cyber fucking robo-taxi. It sits outside and does nothing. And I pay several $100s every fucking few months for insurance on a car that I don't drive, that costs a bunch of money to fill up the gas on, that just sits there, that I keep around for nostalgia's sake. Yeah, it is actually Mad Max Sal. I'm not going to lie. Editors, you can put in a clip of, for this video, put in a clip of fucking Mad Max Fury Road. So the idea that you can own a car and then while you're at work or while you're on your day off or while you're sleeping even, it can be out and doing shit and earning you money is genius to me. I also do love this this broader idea. I think they get to it later in the presentation, that by doing this, we can get rid of parking lots and turn them back into parks, because people won't just be like on your day to day. Like, a lot of people will just be taking these, hopefully, cabs everywhere, you know?
Yes, exactly. We expect the cost to be below $30,000. We do expect
that's pretty affordable
to start fully autonomous, unsupervised FSD in Texas and California next year.
Another reason why I love living in California. I love that we just get to fucking test out all this shit early. And again, chat, like you guys are asking, you guys, like, I want you guys to know from literal personal experience. In the last, I am someone who takes Ubers a lot. I don't drive. I take Ubers all the time. I have been in 2 accidents in the last year from Uber drivers. One was the Uber driver's fault. One was someone else's fault, right? Oh, Bliss found this. Here we go. This is what I drive, by the way.
Yeah. I should buy a roof for my car. Yeah.
It doesn't rain in LA that much. Oh. This is my Jeep.
Oh, God.
So I'm not like, listen, I'm not some fucking Silicon Valley. Oh.
Features of the Jeep that give it, it's the real subtle features of the Jeep that give it, like, look at my little water feature. Isn't that kind of nice? Look at that. Really, it's like a little Zen garden. My fingers are pruned from driving my car somewhere where I can buy. My fingers are pruned from driving the Jeep. Oh, God.
I will admit, and this is the worst part about this, I know it is true. Underneath the mats, there actually is a plug on the Jeeps that like literally just opens up into the fucking ground and you can drain it that way. I did not learn this until this year. I have been driving this car since I was 15. And the reason for that is the first time I got rained on in the car, I didn't get rained on. I got snowed on. It was during the winter, and I used to like drive my Jeep. I would drive my Jeep to school, but I would just be like, people would be like in their like cozy pajamas, sipping their coffee. Like I even remember, I have vivid memories of one of my friends. I don't want to leak all their names, but it was a group of girls that would all like drive to school in like one car in the morning. I literally remember they were all like, it was like during like a very snowy day, and they're all in like cute, like kind of like pajama clothes, like laughing, like drinking coffee. Because we pulled up next to each other right before we pulled into the school, and it's just dumping snow in Colorado. And I pull up, and I'm like, this is how I would drive to school. So I would be going to school. This is how I drove to school in Colorado, by the way. This is like how much of a fucking degenerate ski kid I was. Honestly, good extra usage of my ski equipment, but how the fuck does this clip work? New helmet, sorry. So I would drive to school like this. I'd have my fucking ski, because I wouldn't even take the goggles off the helmet. I was like, fuck it, might as well have the extra protection. So I'd have my fucking ski helmet. I'm wearing gloves, fucking my ski jacket on, a hood pulled up, fucking face mask on, driving in the snow because it snows in my Jeep. And the first time my Jeep really got snowed out, I just woke up and came outside. My Jeep was just filled with snow. And so a fucking plug at the bottom, I didn't even think of that. I just fucking had to shovel the snow out of my Jeep. I literally just shoveled snow out of my Jeep. And so then that summer, when it rained in my Jeep, I didn't think about a plug. I didn't ask my dad because I was embarrassed. So I just fucking scooped the water out, and that's how I got it out. Anyways, that's the story of me in high school. Anyways, that was before they invented tarps. Dude, I mean, sometimes, dude, in Colorado, sometimes it just fucking snows or just fucking rains and you don't even know when that shit's coming. Anyways, I now have learned about the plug in the bottom. So I say all of this to let you guys know, I'm not like one of these like Silicon Valley, like buy the new iPhone, 2 weeks before it comes out by, I don't know, fucking selling my organs to get it, right? Like, I'm not trying to glaze tech in Silicon Valley, but I see this shit and I'm like, this is fucking dope. I think it's just a good idea.
And that's with the Model 3 and Model Y. And then we expect to be in production with the Cybercab, which is really highly optimized for autonomous transport in probably, well, I tend to be a little optimistic with timeframes. But in 2026. So, yeah. Before 2027, let me put it that way. When you get in, you'll see like it's really quite a wild experience to just be in a car with no steering wheel, no pedals, no controls, and it feels great. Something we're also doing is,
I think that's
and
sick.
It's really high time we did this, is inductive charging.
What's this about?
The robotaxi has no plug. It just goes over the inductive charger and charges. So, yeah, it's kind of how it should be. Oh, and also, what happens if you need a vehicle that?
Bro, I'm pulling up to Vegas in this thing. I'm pulling up to EDC. I'm pulling up to TwitchCon in this, dude. This is sick.
Is bigger than a Model Y.
That's sick.
The Robovan. The Robovan is, we're going to make this, and it's going to look like that. Now, can you imagine going down the streets and you see this coming towards you? That'd be sick.
Bro, imagine you pull up to the club in the Robovan. Oh, shit. Oh, that's kind of sick.
So this can carry up to 20 people, and it can also transport goods. So you can configure it for goods transport within a city or transport of up to 20 people at a time.
It's so low to the ground, goes over a speed, but I think this is just like a cool prototype version they're showing. I think when they actually make it, it'll be more practical.
So this is gonna, the Robovan is what's gonna solve for high density. So if you want to take a sports team somewhere, or you're looking to
Okay, this is a question that a lot of people have been asking. When can we have sex with the robots? And I actually talked about this a little bit on the stream yesterday. Elon, I don't know if you guys, Elon Elon is such a sweet summer child, where Elon was like, oh, I can't believe it. They're going to have sex with the robot. I'm like, guys, there's two kinds of sex with robots, okay? Meaning there's meaningfully two types of robotic sex. Here's how I break it down. Robotic sex, that's like the crazy one that's really far out there, is where you have an AI that is self-aware, that has some semblance of sentience, of conscience, of free will, and it willingly has sex with you and is like, I'm gonna fuck this human, and you're like, I'm gonna fuck this robot. That is the level of us fucking robots that's in a future that who knows if we'll ever reach that point of technology where we fuck an actual AI. The other version, if you think about it, of fucking a robot really just comes down to, did you fuck something that was battery powered? And the answer to that has been yes. For many, many years has been yes. And to a lot of the straight fellas, we already lost to that robot like a long time ago. Like we fucking got cleaned by that robot a long time ago. Okay. So if you think about like fucking this robot versus fucking, you know, your Lilo vibrating wand 3000, it's the same thing. Right? Like literally the only difference with this robot is it's now a humanoid android that you're going to fucking stick a dildo on, and now it fucks you. And so the answer to your question is, when will someone fuck one of these robots in particular? As soon as these robots are available to the public, I guarantee someone is putting a fucking vibrator or a fucking dildo on it day one. Day fucking one. It's not even if within the first day will someone fuck one of the robots. I'm wondering if within the first hour of this being launched, like the timeline is, how long does it take someone to successfully put a dick on it? That's how long until we fuck that robot.
To really,
I'm gonna be honest, someone probably at the Tesla factory has already fucked the robot.
get the cost of travel down to, I don't know, 5-10 cents a mile, then you can use the Robovan. Some people call it the Robovan, but speaking of robots,
this is the other reason why I invested in Tesla. I saw this and I was like, oh shit, that's fucking sick.
Developed for our cars, the batteries, power electronics, the advanced motors, gearboxes, the software.
I'd say that robots are sexist, Blau. Where's the robots that dudes can put their dick in? You know, I've actually thought this. There's like a fundamental law of the world about what things are like sexist versus not, purely by the laws of nature. Because someone was like, oh my, like architecture is sexist because skyscrapers are phallic or something like that. And like a part of me is like, well, it's just easier to like build up than to dig down and make a fucking building. So you're more likely going to have a penis building than, sure, maybe there's some sexism involved in architecture, I'm sure. But fundamentally, the laws of nature are such that it's easier to build up penis versus dig down vagina. Conversely, when making this robot, it would be fucking weird if they designed the robot and right in the pelvic area, they're like, well, what if we just leave an open space there? We could put some more battery and some more energy there, but what if we just left it? That's kind of fucking weird. Meanwhile, it's a lot easier to just fucking take, you know, your suction cupped Johnny Sins fucking 9-inch mold with fucking, you know, realistic vein texture silicone and just fucking suction that bad boy onto the fucking amorphous pelvic region of the robot, and bam, now it has a dick. See what I'm saying? Like, way easier to do that than the other way around. What did I walk in on? Welcome to the stream. welcome to my stream. This is what we talk about.
Where the AI inference computer, it all actually applies to a humanoid robot. It's the same techniques. It's just a robot with arms and legs instead of a robot with wheels. And we've made...
You literally, like, look, that's the spot that they're going to put the Rodick on. You could maybe, like, strap a Robussy underneath it.
Made a lot of progress with Optimus. And as you can see, we started up with someone in a robot suit, sort of down, and then we've progressed dramatically year after year. So if you extrapolate this, you're really going to have something spectacular, something that anyone could own.
One of my thoughts on robots, and there's actually, like, there's so much interesting literature that I encourage you, chat, to go down in the design of robotics. Like, this is just fascinating stuff to me, right? Like, the pros and cons of designing a humanoid robot. One of the cons is actually what you guys kind of said. I worry about this. I feel like people are going to grief them. We talked about this on stream before, but like when robots have like human-like features, we like to fuck with them like they're humans. Like someone in chat was like, I want to fucking push it over. People want to trip it and bully it. Because, and this is actually really, really fucked up, but I genuinely believe it is in human nature to, like, a lot of humans will mistreat these. Is that the same thing as mistreating a human? No, it's still a it's a weird ethics thing. It's like if I I view these as the same way I view a Nintendo Switch controller. If I throw my controller when I'm angry, that's fine. But would you guys not agree that there is something that is a little bit more weird about if you mistreat the humanoid looking robot than if you mistreat a controller? Is that maybe that's where we start an ethical question? Is me getting mad at a video game and throwing the controller, is that the same as me getting mad at the robot and like pushing it and knocking it over? I would argue from a like robotics ethics standpoint, no, but from like a human morality standpoint, yes, because it's basically saying you're willing to, like, something that's anthropomorphized as like a person, you're actually willing to like take out aggression on, you know? Yeah, McCabe actually brings up a great point. There were many races, Neanderthals, for example. Now there's just one. Not even races, sorry. They're like, they weren't even, well, I mean, we mistreat each other based on race, but like we do this actually a lot. By the way, this isn't, I should learn about this. Chat, someday we should learn about racism because I believe, and by the way, this isn't me defending race. Pause. Racism is bad. I think racism is awful. However, I do think that racism was it's like, has an evolutionary backing in it, in that, and you might think as a social species, we would try to be nice to our own species, but I think it's because as the subdivisions of our species, we try to promote our own groups. And so we look at other groups as the other and as threats. And I mean, that's why humans have been, like, when we talk about racism today, that is not like historical or evolutionary racism. We have been like, dude, groups of humans wipe out other groups of humans, or other groups of, what's the correct term for them? They're not sapiens, homo, whatever. Other subspecies that are very close to us. I mean, that's why we killed the Neanderthals. Like, we genocided the Neanderthals. Yeah, I guess other species, but other related species, like ones that like were very similar to us, but we just killed them all off. And by the way, you know, I think nowadays when we look at like racism, some people are like, fucking white people, right? But it's like, okay, every single race, sub-race, ethnicity throughout human history has been racist towards others in a violent way, in a way to like destroy them, even to their own kind, as a way of self-preservation of their own in-group. And so now it makes me wonder if like by making them like humanoid, if like we're gonna like want to like we have like an innate desire to fuck with them because they're almost like we can because they're not humans, so we can like, I don't know. It's just interesting. Muhammad Ali on racism.
Kinky haired black people.
I'm sure I wouldn't object to that.
Well, you wouldn't, but a lot of them would.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people. No, this is the point.
What I'm trying to say is this. You don't have it. You say you don't, but you don't have it. You really ain't gonna have it. You on the show, and you got to say that. But
that's not true.
Why would you want to do that?
Because I don't think I'm any different from you. You see.
Yeah, we much different.
I mean, I think society's made us different.
You know we're different. We all together.
But society's made us different.
No, not society. God made us different.
No, we're just human beings. He made all of us.
We all listen. Bluebirds fly with bluebirds. Red birds want to be with red birds. Listen. Tell me when I'm wrong. Pigeons want to be with pigeons.
But
Tell
we
me
have
when I'm wrong. We should have. They don't have intelligence, but yet they stay together. We should have more intelligence than them, right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Right? Buzzards are with buzzards. Bluebirds are with bluebirds. They all are birds, but they got different cultures. The eagles like to hang out in the mountains. The buzzard like to fly around the desert.
Well,
the bluebird like to fly around the trees and the grass.
There'd be certain problems a buzzard mating with a sparrow, wouldn't there?
What?
There'd be certain.
Right. And we have the problems too.
No,
but this one's a little tricky. I get what Muhammad Ali's saying, and he is right. He's like we are literally different. Like the fact that but I also get what the interviewer is saying, which is like, hey, but we can evolve beyond that. Which is why by the way, Chad, I'm not saying that we as people should be like, oh, evolutionarily, black people were like, hey, yo, that guy's fucking white, let's go kill him, and white people are like, yo, like that guy's fucking black, let's go kill him. Like, just because we did that evolutionarily doesn't mean we should fucking do that. Like, we have evolved as a species. Now we can like reflect on it and introspect on it and be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't fucking do that. But the innate human behavior of what I would call the otherization of like of an out group is a really common thing. And I wonder if we're going to do that with robots too. Anyways, okay, let's keep watching.
So you can have your own personal R2D2 C3PO.
Here's where my thought process was going with this. So I was wondering if like, why not design these robots more like R2D2 as opposed to like, this is a C3PO humanoid design. Why not make them like R2D2 and moving on? And then I realized like, I actually think it's weird to design robots in our likeness, but then with digits and all that, but then I realized it's because the world is designed for humans. Therefore, in the transition period before other advanced robotics come along, you actually kind of want to replicate humans because of the world being designed for us, the nature of stairs, of buttons, of things that we hold and grab. So makes sense.
And I think at scale, this would cost something like, I don't know, $20,000, $30,000. Probably less than a car is my prediction long term. Now, it'll take us a minute to get to the long term, but
okay, you know how there's a bunch of streamers now and we're all kind of like living. How much of this is even like, who is even? I have a question, chat. When I say like the neighbors, who has said like, oh, I'm living close to this person? Who has said like, I don't even know what I can leak or not. Anyways, yeah, dude, Michael Reeves bought one of the Boston Dynamic robots. All I'm saying is I want all of us who are living in close proximity, I say we all as streamers pitch in and we buy one of these. I think that'd be sick. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? And I'm like streaming. I'm like, fuck, I need another Celsius. Hey, Mr. Bingle. And it's a fucking robot. I named the robot Mr. Bingle. Comes up and fucking. That'd be dope.
But fundamentally at scale, the Optimus robot, you should be able to buy an Optimus robot for, I think, probably $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So, and what can it do? It'll basically do anything you want. So it can be a teacher, babysit your kids. It can walk your dog, mow your lawn, get the groceries, just be your friend, serve drinks, whatever you can think of.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck the robot, 100%. All right, I gotta pee real quick, chat, and then we'll talk about this more. Give me a second. Yeah, we're gonna fuck the robot. Hold on one sec. Someone in chat. Oh, by the way, John Wicks, thanks for the prime. Chat, I'm curious, and this is everyone in chat. Why is this scary to you? When they can beat me in a foot race is when I start worrying. One of my favorite concepts in like dystopian literature or like post-apocalyptic literature is that typically when society breaks down or when some calamity occurs, like a meteorite hits us, zombie apocalypse, whatever else, the thing that actually poses the scariest threat is not that external force, but actually our own internal conflict. Like humans end up being always the most dangerous to each other. Do you think that is actually, like, here's what I'm going to do. I want you guys to give me your worst case scenarios or what you're afraid of. And I'm going to show you that there's just already scarier things that exist now that just take way less work. Do you think that's actually AI or someone with a mic? It's AI, but here's the other issue. And I'm going to compare. We'll talk about this concept, right? This is the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. iRobot versus We Robot. And everyone's making, and they obviously did this on purpose, right? These comparisons on purpose. But you guys know that in iRobot, the software, like the robot that you're dealing with is closer to fantasy than science fiction. So iRobot, the movie, is a unique story based on the iRobot short stories by Isaac Asimov. And the way he writes these is actually somewhat fantasy. This is a hot take, but iRobot has a twist of fantasy. And the fantasy is there's no scientific explanation for the sentience of the robots. In fact, Isaac Asimov kind of hand waves over this. He basically says, and this is like in the fiction, in the books and in the movie, he says, there's a positronic brain. The positronic brain, and there's the laws of robotics that govern it. But the positronic brain is where he does the magical hand waving of, hey, this is just a sentient robot. It has consciousness, or conscience. I guess that's conscience too. Has all of that in the same capacity that we as humans think about sentience and self-awareness. And so really, they're just humans reskinned as robots, if anything. And so what we try to do whenever we create AI is we try to give it the semblance that it's self-aware and has sentience. But we've never actually generated that or created that. So whenever people look at this stuff, they're like, oh my God, they're going to be cut. It's like, well, they just won't be aware. The AI that controls them is not the AI portrayed in the science fiction. That AI is like, is closer to fantasy than science fiction. Literally, Isaac Asimov, the writer of these, there's no like science. It's literally just the positronic brain. Whatever that means. The positronic brain basically means is capable of close to human thought and function. Anyways. By the way, I think that hand waving in sci-fi is fine. Do I think we can eventually get to this level of robotics as an iRobot? Yeah, but what I would say is this. Just because it looks really similar, the difference in technology is cavernous, massive. The degree of difference between, like, this is truly science fiction. The idea of a robot that can become self-aware. Yeah, basically AI right now, AI tries to mimic what humans think AI is. That's what it tries to do. I would argue that the advancement of like the AI is closer to a Nintendo Switch controller than it is to whatever level of insanity, could create something that has more, that can create concepts of morality and then can have dreams, etc., as presented in iRobot. Like a lot, like what we create with AI is super advanced, but at the end of the day, it really is just a reflection of what we put in. Like we are really good at feeding a lot of info into a program and it giving us a ton of information out. I actually think an interesting AI will be when we start to see them where they're like dumb, where they like make mistakes, or where they have like true personality or quirks, So since AI mimic humor, what could stop it from learning violence, i.e. going back to people abusing the robots? We can make them 3 laws safe. But I mean, but here's the difference. Here's the difference. This is a weird take, but I think these robots, if they learned somehow to like attack a person, that's the same thing as like an automated turret system learning to target humanoid silhouettes. It's not. Do you guys get do you guys get the distinction and the difference between like it's just learning some basic concept versus it having the self-awareness to understand that it's a human being, that it itself is a slave to this human being. It has its own mind, free will. I want to rebel again, right? That's a very different like line of rebellion. They're just an advanced tool. So it hurting a person is the same thing as any other machine hurting a person because of malfunction. You can tell by the way, you could just tell the theoretical robots to kill people. But for all of you guys worried, like if you're like, oh my God, they could have these robots go and kill people. It's like, yeah, they can make way better and more efficient robots to kill people. They're called fucking drones. We literally have fucking unmanned aerial vehicles that can go and fucking kill people. You could just put an AI in them to make them be automatically targeting shit too, right? Like there are better ways to design efficient human killers if you want, right? Yeah, like I think people get wrapped up in like, oh my God, what if this thing comes and attacks me? And I'm like, yeah, what if a person comes and attacks you? For this thing to come and attack you, it requires a person to program it to come and attack you. Not if it becomes sentient. But that's the magical hand waving. That's the magical hand waving that I haven't seen where like how do they become sentient? What does that mean? And as of right now, when you look at the movie iRobot, even the way they were designing this, the science fiction of this was literally fantasy. They called it the positronic brain. There was no mathematical or scientific explanation for why they were like a fucking thing, you know? So I don't really know. That's why it's like a weird thing to debate, because it's like, how? What does that mean for them to become sentient? Why is this more like, and let me put it to you guys this way. This is just a more advanced toaster. Like that's, I think, maybe the better way to describe it. The way in which we do AI and learning is advanced toasters. Like like it's not the same as the AI of science fiction. Anyways, that's at least my thought on it, or the way I would frame it. Yeah, it's a cell phone. A cell phone with a face is another way of putting it. Let's learn about the laws of robotics. Now, let's say they do become sentient. How do we fix that?
I'm interested, and I think everybody is interested in the 3 laws of robotics.
3 laws, safe.
Could you explain those?
Well, back in 1939, I began writing robot stories.
By the way, 1939, and he cooked these up. Do you know the funny thing, though? By the way, you guys know the premise, by the way, of the iRobot books and stories is the entire premise is how the robots fail and end up hurting humans or causing some calamity, despite the 3 laws of robotics. Because the whole 3, like they're purposefully written flawed. Like the way Asimov wrote them was for the entirety of the stories. Here's these 3 laws of robotics. All of the short stories are how they fail.
And by the time I'd written 2 and 3, there was a pattern in these stories which John Campbell, the editor of Astounding Science Fiction and my literary father, pointed out to me. He said I was having my robots behave as though they were guided by 3 laws. The first law was that a robot couldn't hurt a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. The second
first law, chat, write these down. These are going to be on the test. Your first law of robotics. A robot cannot harm a human being or through its inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Law number 1, note it down.
Law was that a robot had to obey orders given it by human beings, provided that didn't conflict with the first law. And the
second law, it has to obey human orders. Okay. So if but there's a hierarchy to the law. So if I say, hey, robot, go kill my friend, it won't do it because it violates the first law.
Law was that a robot had to protect its own existence, except where that would conflict with the first 2 laws.
Third law, robot has to protect its own existence. And the reason why that law, that's kind of fucked up, but like the reason that law exists is in a world where the robots are sentient and like have like some degree of more advanced awareness, and they can't harm humans and they have to listen to humans, they basically realize that they're slaves, and so they kill themselves. They just kill their own existence if you only have the first two laws. They're like, I'm aware of myself as a conscious being. I have to obey the orders of this other conscious being, and I cannot harm them in any way. My existence sucks. I'm going to kill myself. So they put in the third law to say, hey, you can't kill yourself.
And after that, I always used them, and the stories evolved out of those three laws, out of the mutual contradictions, out of the ambivalences, the incongruities, and so on. And
well, the interesting thing is that scientists say that when robots are built, that they may be built according to these laws, and also that almost all science fiction writers have adopted them as well in their stories.
That's true about the science fiction writers adopting them. They are now taken for granted. No writer actually quotes them except myself. But the readers are so used to it now that they know it and they take it for granted. And somebody writing in an architectural journal pointed out that these laws hold for tools generally. Number one, a tool must be safe to use. And two, provided it is safe to use, it's got to do what you want it to do. And third, provided it is safe to use and it does what you want to, it's got to last.
But could your three laws of robotics be overloaded on the side of humanism? There are those who believe that the machines we create are going to be Frankensteins.
Well, of course, the three laws of robotics were originally invented by me in order to avoid the Frankenstein motive, because before I wrote my stories, most robot stories were filled with this Frankenstein bit.
The Frankenstein bit being it like comes to life and then like goes and attack its creators.
About the robot destroying its creator. There are some things that men were not meant to know. However, having worked with the three laws for 35 years practically, I was asked to write a robot story to end all robot stories. So I wrote one in which robots became so intelligent that by any reasonable definition, they defined themselves as human beings, you see. So that now the three laws of robotics became the three laws of humanics. And we're right back to the Frankenstein motif. I received letters from readers saying, does this mean you're never going to write any more robot stories? And I wrote back saying, don't worry, if I think of a good robot story, I'll write it anyway.
I didn't know that's the ending of like his thoughts on the robots, that eventually they become so smart that they reason that they're human and not robots. So the story of iRobot then, the story of iRobot, spoiler alert, but you guys have already...
You said they've all been programmed with three laws. So that means we have 1,000 robots that will not try to protect themselves if it violates a direct order from a human. And I'm betting one who will.
Detective, put your gun down.
Why do you give them faces? Try to friendly them all up, make them look all human.
These robots are not susceptible to intimidation.
I guess if you didn't, we wouldn't trust them.
These robots are USR property.
Not me. These things are just lights and clockwork.
Are you crazy?
Let me ask you something, Doc. Does thinking you're the last sane man on the face of the earth make you crazy? Because if it does, maybe I am. Gotcha. Get the hell out of here!
Detective!
Violating the first law. Damn.
What am I? Can I help you, sir? Can I help you, sir?
And all the other ones go, can I help you, sir? Because they see him.
There he is! Stand where you are, DX!
It's also not listening to the deactivate commands. Okay. Yeah, by the way, so when you guys are like, oh my God, but what that, like, here's the thing. It's not even the laws of robotics that are like need to even be applied yet, because at the end of the day, these robots could be just purely sentient without the laws, which was kind of fucking crazy. That's why they had to have the laws in place. Anyways, spoiler alert for someone's like, well, this movie didn't exactly follow the books. I actually loved how they did I, Robot the movie, because the book I, Robot is not a singular story. It's actually a series of short stories that each talk about different ways in which the laws fail. And I, Robot the movie, the premise of the 3 laws failing is actually really smart. One of the sort of advanced AIs that's monitoring all the robots basically realizes or rationalizes to itself that humanity is self-destructive and will kill itself. Therefore, it argues in the first law that to prevent harm to a human, again, it's not that they just can't harm humans, it's that through inaction, let harm come to humans. It says the inaction of us protecting humans is going to cause them to kill each other. And it also rationalizes that humanity, the concept of humanity, the human race, is more important to humans than an individual human. Because again, think about it, they have to be programmed with certain ethics questions, right? Do I save a trolley of 10 people or 1 person on a track? The robots have it programmed to value the 10 people more. So the way the robot then rationalizes all of this is, it is okay if we kill individual humans as long as we can protect the human race. And to protect the human race is to basically put them into a nanny state where we, the robots, control them and preserve them at the cost of their own freedom, but for their own preservation. And that's the premise of the movie, which is actually a really fucking cool premise in the thinking of the robots. So yeah, Will Smith failed himself with the laws that one time at the Oscars. Yeah, bro forgot about the first law of robotics then. You are the dumbest smart person I've ever met. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Anyways, I mean, Chad, just listen, I know I'm like I try not to flex this too much, but I know you guys think I'm a fucking degenerate streamer who just plays video games, but you guys do forget, I did also, study neuroscience and political science at the University of Chicago. All of that shit slipped my mind, but I still try to keep up with shit, Holy shit, yeah. Tesla preferred to hit the oncoming car instead of hitting the pedestrian who fell on the road.
Doamne Dumnezeule mare. Doamne Dumnezeule mare.
But it's interesting. So who is at fault? Tesla? But what's interesting about that is wouldn't you agree that the robot did the right thing there? No? Did it not do the right thing? I think it could have killed this person. I also don't think a human reacts that fast. Oh, Empress Tiff said, guys, it's literally a quote from the movie and not a commentary on Blau's intelligence. Empress Tiff, I'm so sorry. This is one of those where like things get lost in the dialogue of Twitch chat, you know? So I'm so sorry. You're right. I actually remember that quote. But remember when we were playing the trolley problem? And what's interesting is the trolley problem game, these have to be baked into AIs, right? Like these sorts of questions, like what actions do they take in certain situations, you know? This is maybe an easier way to understand it. Okay.
A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. These are the laws of robotics.
One of the really interesting short stories in Isaac Asimov's book is like a robot is ordered to go and do something. And I forgot what happens, but it's basically on its way to do the task. It then faces danger, and the third law kicks in to self-preserve it. But then it still tries to then complete the second law, the order that was given. So it tries to keep going to do the thing. And it's like this weird loop where the robot basically gets stuck in a loop because it doesn't want to kill itself, but it's trying to complete the task.
Asimov's laws of robotics have had a profound influence on our thinking in terms of AI and the creation of sentient machines. As technology has advanced, the question of how you should make such a machine that isn't a fundamental threat to humanity has grown more pressing. We've had to ask ourselves, what is ethical programming? As we build things as simple as self-driving cars, we've had to start wrestling with the question of what instructions we give robots in an impossible situation. For example, a group of children run out in front of the car. The only options are to swerve into oncoming traffic,
literally what we just
killing
saw,
the driver and endangering others, or to simply hit the children, ending more human lives. How do you make that choice? How do you program a machine to do so? These discussions really began with Asimov. From Skynet to Data, Robbie...
It's crazy that he was thinking about this in the 1930s. That's what's fucking wild.
...to Bishop and RoboCop to Mega Man, pop culture and science fiction has played with Asimov's laws, built on them, and explored them. Nearly every artificially intelligent machine in science fiction has had to answer that fundamental question which Asimov posed. Once humankind can create a being superior to itself, what's to keep those beings from simply displacing us? Why would they just serve us? Is it even ethical to have them do so? And Asimov really...
Yeah, okay. This is an interesting ethical question. And this is where I stand on it, chat. The robots that we create now, insofar as they don't have a true, insofar as they are just purely AI regurgitation of input output, and that they cannot generate their own sort of what we would view as sentience. And maybe we have to have a measurement of this, because I would argue if they do develop that sentience, we can't use them as slaves at that point. Eliminator 5 said, I stand on human race supremacy. I'm the opposite, dude. I would be a lawyer. I'd be an advocate for robots' rights. When I say robots' rights, though, it's like it really does have to demonstrably be a sentient creature. The measurement is the Turing test. No, the measurement is not the Turing test. There's better. That's not the only measurement.
Really was the first one to explore this question systematically. He saw that science fiction had been stuck in a trope that Mary Shelley first gave us at its very inception. The artificial man turning on its creator.
Yeah.
But where Shelley had explored it with nuance and meaning, many of the pulp era short stories just threw in robots as an easy go-to villain that no one had to feel bad about shooting. So way back in 1942, working in the massive shipyards of Philadelphia during the height of the Second World War, Asimov asked himself how robots might actually be used in the future, how they could be made to be beneficial to humanity rather than ending up as its downfall. He then took this nascent idea to Campbell, who helped him enunciate the laws of robotics in the way we know them today. But interestingly, unlike the notion that seems to be floating around the internet, Asimov did not see his 3 laws as the answer. Instead, he actually used them as a basis to play with all the things that might go wrong if we implemented.
There's a great Star Trek talk on this, because even an AI as smart as a cat, if we put a cat in a box under your desk and kept it there indefinitely, we would call that animal abuse. I think we could enunciate that, though, in a way in which, like, okay, but cats can feel pain. There is a spectrum. Like, we abuse life forms all the time, but you know, we in the cattle industry, right? They abuse them, right? But there's also a concept of pain, stuff like that. Like, you know, what are the needs of a robot versus the needs of a cat, right? Schrodinger's robot. Shiokaku said on a podcast, robots becoming sentient is actually quite far. I feel like we would destroy ourselves for it. Yeah, I guess here's the thing is like a lot of people say it's like, how far are we from creating a sentient robot? We don't know until we actually do, or a sentient AI. We definitely have not, by the way. But I sometimes frame the question of sentient robot in the sense of a sentient alien life form. What if a planet comes into our solar system, like, I don't know, or somehow something gets into our, or we just discover or find a way to get to a planet. We'll make up some bullshit hand wavy science fiction. We get to a planet and there's alien life on that planet. And the alien life is really, it's not intelligent at all. They're just giant space cows. And it turns out that these giant space cows are really fucking tasty, and really nutritious. We're probably going to fucking eat them. We're going to come up with a way to create a cattle system and some sort of way to manufacture and farm the cattle on this new planet and eat them. Okay. What if we find not space cattle, but space cavemen? And we find a species that actually does have basic communication and is self-aware and has pain. Maybe they have stories, they tell stuff, but we are the hyper superior being to them. What do we do? So I would argue from a human, from what we as sentient creatures would be, is we'd recognize their sentience. Maybe it's not as advanced as ours, and we would let them be. You know, the truly ethical thing is maybe we need resources from their planet. So we ethically set up some sort of system where, hey, we would like some of the resources from your planet, but we'll help you and your people advance. So we'll enter into some sort of trade agreement. But they're, you know, and these are hypotheticals, but we would like to think that we wouldn't just enslave them, right? That sounds awful. I would not want to be part of I would not vote for the world government that wants to just enslave these aliens, even if they're less advanced than us, or wipe them out. I would not condone that. And why? Well, because they can think and feel. Or maybe they have some concept of thinking and feeling, even if it's not the same as ours, right? So then I think sometimes the thought experiment of how we might interact with, how we would want us to interact with different aliens. Blau on his vegan arc? Okay. I'm not saying all life is valuable. I'm saying all sentient life is valuable. Fuck them cows, bro. I'll eat that shit. I ain't no vegan. We don't, but what about if country not in Western influence does it? Oh yeah, I mean there's other countries and cultures, even as humans, that would be like, yeah, we should fucking kill them or we should enslave them. Like, sure. Yeah, I think we should kill vegans because I think vegans aren't sentient. Wait, what? Other cultures can be wrong. Ooh. Chad, I don't know. It's not Sunday. I don't know if we can get down that rabbit hole. That's a whole other rabbit hole. No, like skiing, listen, even skiing can't necessarily ban them. I'll pose a hypothetical that actually touches on a lot of religious cultures, right? Yeah, skiing hasn't banned anyone. But like, for instance, like what if I claim as a culture that gay people should be killed? That my culture says, hey, it's against the laws of God and nature, therefore gay people should be killed, right? Now, the like progressive person in you might be like, well, all cultures are valid. But the fucking like normal person in you might be like, that's fucking wrong. Like, you know, like, right? Like, no. Like, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, but like, yeah, see what I'm saying? You get into all sorts of interesting. This is why I love science fiction, because it also brings us into like actual questions of how we deal with real life. Like, how do we deal with robotics, right? Dude, but see, everyone has their own beliefs. But see, isn't that interesting? Because even when we framed the laws of robotics, it was what Asimov said at the end that I thought that was fascinating. Where it's like the robots themselves took the laws of robotics and said, we have basically become human ourselves. Why are these not just the laws of humanity, right? Like, could you not, you know, right? Like, can we not have like laws of humanity for beliefs? Like, what if my belief is that Celsius is the best energy drink? You guys are probably like, yeah, you're probably allowed to have that belief. I might disagree with you. I might have the belief that another drink is better. But now what if my belief is, I think that Celsius is the best energy drink. And if you drink an energy drink that's not Celsius, you should die. We would be like, that's fucking insane. Right? So Joker Babe, you said everyone has their own beliefs, right? And it's really easy to say, hey, everyone has their own beliefs. Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya insofar as those beliefs are benign. Like, hey, I like Celsius, you like Prime, that's fine. I like Celsius, you like Prime, we like different drinks, it's all fine. But now if that jingle was, I like Celsius, you like Prime, I'm gonna fucking kill you, I think that's fine, right? Like, that's fucked up. Yeah, so like what's weird is even the laws of robotics would be different based on what country employs the laws of robotics. But then the Red Bull Nation attacked. You should seriously read Bradbury's second postscript in his letter about Disney to Brian Sibley. It's about Sibley being afraid of robots, and it's really good. Can you link it here, This Mom Plays Games?
And trusted in those 3 laws. Usually, the failings he highlighted were human, like when a company is so worried about its expensive robot that it strengthens the 3rd law to be just as important as the 2nd, rendering the robot useless as it oscillates between trying to fulfill a human command and then backing off every time that command might put it in the slightest danger. Or when the military modifies the 1st law for its robots and it comes back to bite them in the end. Sometimes, though, he explores how the laws could cause robots to act with an excess of altruism in a way that we might not actually like.
Yeah.
Such as when a psychic robot is accidentally created and everyone starts acting on what it says, since it knows our most inner thoughts. But despite the fact that it truly is psychic, it actually just tells people what they want to hear because it can't hurt their feelings. Or when a machine decides
Dude, imagine you have your new like Tesla robot and you ask it, does this dress make me look fat? And the robot has to think to itself. It has to think, well, I've calculated the data from the scale that you stepped on today, and you actually are, according to your height, like overweight and unhealthy, and therefore you should be like eating better and da da da, right? And it thinks that, but then it's also like, but if I do say that you're a little fat and you've put on weight, that might actually hurt your feelings, causing issues with self-appearance and all that sort of stuff, which could cause depression, which could actually worsen the health effect, right? Like, holy shit, dude. Bro, I don't envy these robots having to deal with that shit. Oh my God.
that in the end, the only way to save humanity from itself is to take over and run human activity.
That's the
Lastly,
iRobot premise.
Asimov gives us stories where robots find some way to subvert these laws. Like when a politician is running for office and he's accused of being a machine. So to disprove these allegations, he punches a man. Something that if he were a machine, the first law would not let him do. But unbeknownst to all the humans watching, the person he punched was secretly a robot too.
Dude. I think one of my favorite, this is a little bit of a spoiler alert, but you should still read the books, but I'll kind of explain like a premise. I won't like reveal the name of the books. There's the iRobot series, but then there's other books, full-on books in the robot universe that Asimov wrote that are actually detective stories. And one of my favorite detective stories is a robot kills a person because it thought it was killing a robot. Because a person basically commanded it to destroy another robot. And it's like, well, that doesn't go against the first law. I have to obey the second law. My own self-preservation is fine, so it doesn't violate third law. Okay, yeah, they probably need this thing destroyed. So it goes and destroys what it thinks is a robot, but it actually kills a person. Because again, how does it know at the time? So it's only after it's killed him that it realizes, oh shit, I killed a person. And then it causes the robot to fucking malfunction and go crazy.
For all of this, though, Asimov was a defender of progress. Even in the political story, the robot is prompted and aided by a human. The common thread in his robot stories is that our fear of robots is a self-fulfilling prophecy. That being afraid of science or tech...
What is it? Wait, hold on, what is this? When white people came to Africa, they decided to come up with a reason that enslaving black people would be fine, so they deemed them savages, but because they looked so similar, they came up with race as justification based on skin tone. Well, I'm not trying to like defend white people enslaving black people, but I'm gonna, not to like burst your bubble, but people have been doing that to other people for a long time, where this group of people that doesn't look like me, I'm gonna enslave them because they don't look like me. Black people did it to, you know, brown people did it to black people, brown people did it to white people did it to brown, like everyone did it to everyone. You know, like everyone fucking did it. Also, I like the concept of race does like exist, right? Like, well, we are like there are like genetic differences between people based on their race. Like that's just like a thing. Scandinavian people get diabetes more. Type 1 diabetes. It just fucking happens. Like that's just a thing. But like we're all people, like we are all Homo sapiens. Like we are all of the same species, but there's just genetic differences within our species and subspecies. I can see the clip now. Blau defends slavery. I did not defending slavery. No such thing as race determination through genes. I don't know. I think it's, yeah, maybe it's ethnicity. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're confusing words, right? I think there's ethnicities that are different, right? Based on, you know, I mean, it's like, you know, I've told you guys this story. There's a group of lions in, I forgot where it is, which country, but they basically all grew up on this, like kind of like an island in a river. And the only thing they can hunt meaningfully is the water buffalo, which are way fucking bigger. So there's literally a like singular, I think it's like literally a singular pride of lions that is like 30% bigger than the average lion, just because for a very long period of time, all they could hunt were fucking water buffaloes. So they're like the giga lions. Yeah, this is the question I'm trying to ask. At what point is it that machines are too intelligent that it would be considered slavery? That, like, yeah, that's an interesting point. Race is very, very subjective. Yeah, I mean, I think race sounds more like a social construct. Like race is an identity, a social construct of how society has interpreted you in it based off of commonly ethnic grounds, but sometimes other things, right? So that, to me, race seems more like a construct. But like there are like literal biological differences in terms, you know, beyond just like skin color, right? Like I know this because my example of this, whenever we go out drinking, like we go out to Chi-Chi's, it's like a group of friends. We actually had a bunch of us. We all went out last night, and I'm like one of the few white guys in the group. It's mostly Asian people, and they all have to fucking take the pills. I don't have to do that. You know what I'm talking about? Asian people in my chat? The fucking pills. So, because of they lack the fucking whatever enzyme. Pills for what? Asian glower here. I just take the L. What is it? Does anyone know what the pill is? It's an enzyme. Can you explain in Fortnite terms, Mr. Blaustoys? Yeah. When I drop, I have base 25 shield, but when some people drop in, they don't have the base shield, so they have to drink a chug jug to get the shield. It's an ALDH2 pill. It's the inability to digest alcohol, and guessing it's what the pill helps with. We'll read this. We will read this next. I do want to read that script. What are we watching? Here we are.
Technology leads us to act toward it in ways that are detrimental to ourselves or to society, or to inadvertently hand off control of it over to people who do want to misuse it, simply by our refusal to understand it. You see, to Asimov, the laws of robotics weren't actually laws for robots. He thought them a simple creed for how to be a decent human being. He brings this up with a robot masquerading as a human and has a character ask how you can tell a robot from just being a very good person. In his stories where we fail to live up to the standards of a robot is where the problems start to show through. Of course, this is also where some of his 50s golden age mindset starts to creep in. Not only do these laws lack the subtlety to address the intensely complex range of human emotions, fears, wants, and desires, but they also assume morality is fixed and make assumptions about morality that aren't universal. There's a moment when discussing this where Asimov has one of his characters talk about the second law, and they say, "Every good human being with a social conscience and a sense of responsibility is supposed to defer to the proper authority, to listen to his doctor, his boss, his government, his psychiatrist, his fellow man, to obey laws, to follow rules, to conform to custom, even when they interfere with his comfort or safety." That's a very 50s America understanding of the world.
I'm going to be more charitable to Asimov here. I know they're trying back. That's very 50s America. Well, that's actually also very like humans as a social species kind of interpretation of it, and not just like me as the fucking individual trying to live on. It's like, hey, like in the effort to preserve the species, that's how you have to act. So I'd be charitable and maybe think that he's explaining it that way.
Later authors will rebel against and work to overthrow. But no matter how you look at it, Asimov raised the big questions. How will we interact with our machines as the machines themselves become smarter? How will we relate to them when they become more capable than we ourselves are? And in doing so, he laid the groundwork for all the science fiction that's tried to take a crack at these questions since, igniting a firestorm of discussion that has changed the very way we think about technology right up to today. And if there's one thing we can absolutely be sure about, it's the fact that in no way is it possible for me to be a robot. Resistant.
Monka. So then working class here says, what is the difference between AI and animals? Other than So one distinction I make is that, and this was brought up in Mass Effect, where they even say like all sentient life, whether organic or synthetic, is valuable. So you have to argue to me why organic life is better than synthetic, right? Like a robot that is sentient, conscience, has its own thoughts, expressions, will. Why is it worse than me just because I'm a carbon-based life form versus it being a synthetic-based life form? So, I mean, my thought is there's not, like, one is not better than the other, you know? I would argue that, yeah, I think there's some definition of like self-awareness and drive and sentience that like at reaching a certain point, I then value you as a sentient being, but maybe I value some sentient beings more than others. I don't know. It's fucking complicated. Welcome to the stream, chat. How are we feeling after discussing all that? Holy shit. Hi, chat. Dude, I love when we do this stuff. You have tried out your Mason's hair product? He loves it. Dude, the Mason's hair powder, scan the QR code here. It has been fucking amazing. It's a game changer for guys' hair. Is Mickey still in jail, chat, or did they bust him out? I'm running into a... Should I just... chat. I'm wondering if I should just move Mickey out of jail so that I can go and do a bank heist on my birthday with the boys. It's like a timing thing. Like my birthday is on Tuesday. It's in like 3 days. I'm not streaming Monday, by the way. I am streaming tomorrow, so maybe we could do it. We could just skip that and just pretend and just role play that they broke him out. No. That's what most people role play anyways when they just skip jail. So it was a cool idea, but I think it's just been hard to organize. So, or maybe we do it tomorrow. But the problem is then Ray and Lysium are off tomorrow. So It's tricky. Blau is the most obvious Libra. What are Libras? Let's learn about Libras. You tend to be practical and businesslike by nature, Libra, but the tremendous growth you've experienced may increase your desire to be as sensible and efficient as possible in order to continue this trend. Oh my God. I just said something that was sensible and efficient to contribute. I'm going to skip the JLRP. You're feeling upbeat and positive. I am. You're likely to continue feeling this way. Awesome. The downside is that you're probably going to be working I am working very hard. You will like the results though. Go for it. Okay. What was yesterday? Today you may feel especially warm and loving toward just about everybody in your circle. I didn't. Even those you usually find irritating. I didn't. You could also be looking especially attractive and feeling more confident than usual. I didn't yesterday. You might feel like shopping for... I didn't. Artistic ideas could float... No, they didn't. Wait. What about tomorrow? There's some likelihood that you will be haunted by thoughts of your love life today. What the fuck? Let me check out monthly. Pluto stations directly in Capricorn on October 11th, activating your intuition and emotional... What the fuck am I reading? What does that mean? Pluto encourages you to heal deeper. Well, I was trying to fix the insulin shit. More intimate issues that you ordinarily keep private. Oh, I usually don't tell people about my diabetes struggles. Oh, that's good. With the transformative capabilities of Pluto, you can purge toxic patterns that hold you back from... Okay. Listen, I don't think it was the fucking transformative capabilities of Pluto. I think my insurance company just finally got through to my fucking pharmacy and that got me insulin. I don't think it was fucking Pluto. Such a Libra thing to say? Fuck. You're right. Do yourself a favor and throw out the roadmap you've been trying to follow. What the? Wait, what? Chat. Okay, guys, I have an announcement. I'm not doing the roast of Blau for my birthday. I'm not doing the big content thing I have planned in November, and I'm not doing the role play awards this year. I'm throwing out the roadmap, guys. Sorry. Hey, fucking Libra horoscopes, guys. We're no longer doing spooky games this month. I'm throwing it out. Because Jupiter goes into retrograde. No more plans, guys, because the best plans are... I have no plans. All right. Fuck it. Throw out the Tesla stock. Yeah. Chat, are you guys mad at me for buying Tesla stock? Be honest. Am I getting canceled on Twitter for buying Tesla stock? Is that like am I not supposed to do that?
Talking.
Wait, actually? Fuck. What? I like the fucking robots they're making. Fuck me, dude.
John? Where's John?
Right here.
Oh, hello, John.
How are you? That's crazy. I'm talking to a robot. From San Jose. Probably from where you were.
Is it just me, or does the robot sound like Squeaks role-playing as Ramaswamy?
Optimist. It's insane. It's even talking.
John? Where's John?
Right here.
Where's John? Oh, that's great.
That's crazy. I'm talking to a robot. From San Jose. Probably from where you were born in Silicon Valley.
Wonderful. Where do you live in San Jose? Do you live in Almond Valley or do you live in Santa Teresa area?
No, I live in Los Gatos.
Los Gatos. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Where do you live?
Beautiful hiking I hear out there.
There is. Where do you live?
I live in Palo Alto at the current moment.
Figures. Yeah, this is awesome.
That's where they train us. That's where we get our builds, and that's where we work with a wonderful group of people.
What's the hardest thing about being a robot?
Trying to learn how to be as human as you guys are. And that's something I try harder to do every day, and I hope that...
Was it someone with a walkie-talkie? Oh, so that part was faked. Okay, okay. It's not actual AI? Oh, okay, okay, okay. I still invested. Fuck. Oh, shit. Day one. Chat. Are you guys actually disappointed in me for investing in Tesla? I just like the robots. I think they have a cool vision for the future. Oh, okay. Thanks, chat. No, I'm disappointed in you for everything else. Oh, thank you. Hell, at least I'm honest with you guys where I fucking send my money. Chat, are you guys disappointed in me that listen, guys, I try to invest in sensible companies, okay? Tesla, Chevron, and Lockheed Martin. Those are my three positions right now. Tesla, Chevron, and Lockheed Martin. I'm an ethical guy. Whoa, Lockheed Martin's sick. They make airplanes, right? I'm kidding. I don't know. I thought that their robot shit was really cool. And I do stand by the fact. Oh, and Blackwater is my other one. Blackwater is my favorite one to invest in. Love Blackwater. Oh, and BlackRock too. Yeah. Hydra type name, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Halliburton used to be the evil core. Wow, what a timeline. All right, chat. What do you guys want me to react to? I'll put on the clip queue. What do you guys want to discuss and talk about and react to? Let me clear it up. Chat's turn to put stuff in. Wow, will you ever visit Switzerland? Looks pretty in Leslie's vlog the other day. Dude, the photos that Leslie was sending us when she was in Switzerland looked like, I mean, it looked just like you would see in like fucking random Instagram posts. Amanda, thanks for the 32 months. Wow, have you gotten to see any Liar's Bar gameplay yet? Yes, and I am planning to do a Liar's Bar lobby, I think on Tuesday with Dimoke, Ztark, and Fusely. So I will be playing that. Wow, what do you think of Jenny's new song Mantra? Is there a music video? That doesn't answer. Wait, what was the question? Will you visit Switzerland? I don't know, maybe someday. Why does the US spend so much on its military?
Let me show you how much the...
Okay. Before they even go into this, there is this concept, though, that like the United States military is more than just a military. It's the military for like a bunch of other countries. Like it provides protection for them. And it's like a broader like global stability force. That's like the devil's advocate argument. So just want to throw that out there. But we also do have a bunch of fucking random old bureaucratic people who just want us to build new toys for the military and shit that doesn't even make sense in today's day and age. But
the United States spends on its military. Over here, you've got Russia, China, India, and other big military powers. And yet, if you combine them all into one, the US still spends more than the next 10 countries combined. But I'm interested in what happens inside of this circle. Like, what are we spending our money on?
There is a lot of our military spending is actually good. A lot of it's fucking dumb, but like dumb spending is the entire F-22, F-35, or not that, maybe not the F, maybe it was the F-20, or it was the F-35 program was horrible.
More than any other country on its military. Defense is pretty complicated and depends a lot on who you ask. So go to the sources, you can see how we got all these numbers and what 50 military bases, including the approximately 800 bases that are not in the United States, that are in other countries, which, by the way, are quite expensive to run because the US military has basically created a slice of America.
Most of the spending goes to Israel. Okay. I know that that's like, listen, guys, I know that it's like, yo, fuck Israel, fuck the US military. Our spending doesn't go to Israel. I'm sure some of it does, but trust me, we have a lot of other shit we like to spend our money on. Like most of, listen, what does most mean? Like, let's try to use numbers here. If most of our spending goes to Israel, you are telling me that 456 billion dollars goes to Israel? Not most of, but you know what I mean? Actually, I'm pretty sure it's mostly that Israel just buys it. Yeah, actually, that's what someone else said. I think Israel just buys it from us.
Over here, you've got Russia, China, India, and other big military powers. And yet, if you combine them all into one, the US still spends.
Actually, I would love if someone, how much does the US military budget go into Israel versus how much does Israel just buy shit from us? I don't know. Like, you know, like that's like one of those questions where like people throw it around, but I don't actually know. And I'm not trying to like I'm not trying to like defend one way or the other. I'm actually just curious. Like how does that work? Do we actually just give them money or like, do they buy stuff from us? Like, I don't know.
Some estimates, the Department of Defense is the largest employer in the world, though it depends on how you count it. The Pentagon also spends a lot of money on recruiting new talent, like the $28 million that they spent on hiring experts who work in artificial intelligence. Next, the military spends $140 billion on research and development. And a reminder, I know that these numbers are abstract and billion does.
Okay. U.S. aid to Israel in 4 charts. I love charts. How much U.S. aid does Israel receive? Israel is the largest cumulative recipient of U.S. aid. Military. Oh, this is cumulative over the years. Okay. I was like, well, there's no way 230 of our bill. Okay, but this is since 1946. Okay. Right now, we are providing Israel with $3.8 billion per year through 2028. But since October 7th, the United States has enacted legislation providing an additional $12.5 billion in military aid to Israel, which includes the $3.8 billion bill in March. So it's around like 15, 16 billion. Oh. So the aid, we give the money to buy stuff from our military contractors. So most of the aid, approximately 3.3 billion a year, is provided as grants under the Foreign Military Financing Program, must be used to purchase U.S. military equipment and services. U.S. aid reportedly accounts for some 15% of Israel's defense budget. And that is why, chat, I only invest in Tesla, Chevron, and Lockheed Martin. This is why I invest in Lockheed. I'm kidding. I don't have Lockheed Martin. Well, maybe I do. I probably have Lockheed Martin stocks. I invest in index funds. Presumably one of the snapshots in the index fund is probably right? Chat, do you guys have a 401k? Do you have any random index funds that you own? Have you checked to see if any of them are part of the U.S. military industrial complex? I don't know. Fuck. Okay. What movie or what YouTube clip were we on? Fuck. All right. Wait, no, it wasn't this one. What in the fuck? Another tab? Guys, what tab was I on? Fuck. Weren't we watching? Oh wait, it was in clip queue. I'm dumb.
Doesn't mean anything to anyone, but like $140 billion, that's the entire economy of Morocco.
I would argue if 140 billion is in research, development, and testing, probably a decent amount of that's not bad. But the U.S. military funds a lot of good science, right?
Pentagon spends on R&D, thinking about the future, with the goal of maintaining technological superiority on the battlefield.
Yeah, I would say some of that's probably pretty well spent.
Meaning they're working on new tech. It's a huge part of what the Pentagon does. Now, a lot of this stuff is classified, but we do know that the Pentagon is spending money on stuff like AI, using AI to analyze drone footage to improve their target. 67 billion.
Taxpayers want to know how our tax dollars are getting.
What the graph here doesn't reveal is that most of this money is going to private corporations who get 466 billion of these dollars, about 54%. And once again, the US government tells us exactly which corporations they give all this money to. We pulled the last 19 years worth of data.
Oh God, here comes the Lockheed Martin.
On these private contractors. At the top of this list, you start to see the same names over and over. Raytheon, General Dynamics, Boeing, Northrop Grumman.
Hey, chat, that's where I put my stock.
Lockheed Martin. These are the names at the top of these lists,
I'm kidding.
Year after year. There used to be a lot of different defense contractors, but over the last 3 decades, they got gobbled up by these big 5. Transitioning, from the words of the Pentagon, from 51 to 5 aerospace and defense prime contractors. As a result, the DoD is increasingly reliant on a small number of contractors for critical defense capabilities, i.e. we've got kind of a monopoly issue on our hands. These 5 contractors own the space, and the Pentagon can't really go elsewhere if they need an F-35. There's only one shop in town that makes it. For this reason,
and that's why I'm kidding. The Lockheed Martin F-35 program is actually a great example of just horrible spending. It's like, why do we want an air superiority fighter again? Like, we can just shoot planes out of the sky without a fucking intercept plane.
And the prices can get pretty out of control. Like, the Pentagon used to pay $25,000 for this Stinger missile, and now they pay nearly $500,000 for the same missile. The price went up more than 16 times in just a couple decades. A little more than inflation.
There's a history of defense contractors overcharging the U.S. government. They can overcharge. If they're the only company producing a certain widget, then there's no competition. And that's one of the problems with monopoly, is if there's not competition, it's easy to overcharge the buyer. In addition, the Inspector General of the Department of Defense has found routinely that there's overcharging through corruption and waste and fraud. And there have been lawsuits. For example, KBR is a contractor that's been used overseas, and they were found to overcharge in dining halls by 30 to 40%.
It's also why a Pentagon inspector realized that the Pentagon was paying Boeing, yes, that Boeing, $3,357 for...
This is why whenever you guys talk about boycotting, and I'm not saying the boycotts don't work or that you shouldn't boycott other things, but I am always curious if people who like aggressively boycott companies, if and when you fly, if you're like, was this made by, was the plane I'm about to be on, is it made by Airbus or Boeing? Boeing? Not buying this ticket. I'll pay more in my flight to make sure I fly on an Airbus than on a Boeing. Because Boeing is...
For one ball bearing, a small little piece that
thanks to the Prime,
could
by
actually
the way.
get for $15 in their own warehouse. $15.42 to be precise. When the Pentagon does get around to investigating these contractors, they sometimes find that they're taking huge profits, like 40 to 50% profit margins, giving them hundreds and millions of dollars above what they should be making in any kind of typical business environment. And what do they do with all these profits? Well, they pay their executives very well. But this list also tells us what they do. This is a list of how much money these defense contractors spend to influence our lawmakers into spending more money on the military so that these companies can make more money. You can see right here that Lockheed Martin is at the top of the list. So far this year, in this election cycle, Lockheed Martin has spent $2.7 million, split pretty evenly between Democrats and Republicans. This is a number that will continue to go up as we get closer to the election, and it is money spent to cozy up to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, contributing to their campaigns, bringing them out to show them how great their weapons are, doing whatever they can to make sure that the money keeps flowing to their companies. These companies also benefit from the infamous revolving door. The revolving door is not a literal door, it's a metaphorical door between the Pentagon and the defense corporations, which allows top military leaders like Jim Mattis to serve in the military for decades, retire as a general, and then join the board of General Dynamics, a defense contractor, only to pass through the proverbial door to become the Secretary of Defense under Trump, after which he passes through the door again to go back onto the board of General Dynamics, bringing with him all of his insider knowledge and government contacts and influence. And no, this is
Dude, we should, you know what we should institute? Politicians in the United States. I actually agree with this concept that politicians in the United States should actually it should be like the Kingsguard in Game of Thrones. They should revoke any titles, lands, and all that bullshit. Like, to be a elected politician, you must revoke privately held stock. Like, you can't own stock. Like, I actually think our politicians should be like a separate class of people. Like, they're not allowed to own private stock. They're not allowed to, after they retire, go and work. Like, maybe we pay them more. Maybe I think that could be a cool solution. I would actually be down that if you become a senator or a congressman or congresswoman, your salary is $1 million a year, something crazy. So it's a very prestigious job, and then you get, after you're out of office, you get some stipend for life, but you're not allowed to own equity. That'd be fucking cool.
This is not just Jim Mattis. This is a very...
Yeah, I'm with, whenever I see Nancy Pelosi invest in a company, I'm fucking there. I'm like, yo, Nancy, what are we going in on?
normal thing that people do here in DC. One analysis found that in 2022, top defense companies hired 672 employees directly out of the Pentagon to work as lobbyists, board members, and executives. Go check my sources if you want to read more about this. I mean, yes, the revolving door is metaphorical, but it's also pretty physical and literal. I drive on this freeway all the time, and I'm always struck at how close all of this is. Over here is the Pentagon, and over here are all the defense contractors in an area of town literally called Pentagon City.
If there's someone working in government who is deciding on contracts and they have a conversation with someone who's going to receive that contract, the person in the firm can promise a good high-paying job after that government official is out of government. And so the government official then has an incentive to give a generous contract to the contractor because they know they're getting this kind of quid pro quo. They're going to get a high-paying job after they leave government.
Did you guys know prior to streaming and joining PlayStation, I was going to join, I was either going to be working for... So the three groups I was talking to for jobs, I was going to be doing like strategy work for either the CIA, the IDA, which is the Institute for Defense Analysis, or I was going to join some sub branch of the Pentagon. I was going to be doing like military analysis and strategy. Those are like the three ones I was looking at.
And to add insult to injury,
we're not there now.
Some of the lawmakers who approve the Pentagon's budget own stocks in the defense contracting companies. Like, the lawmakers get richer if we spend more money on defense. No. Why do we do this? Like, this is like classic, basic, simple, like, no, conflict of interest. We should not do this. This is not a thing we should do. But actually, owning stocks in these companies is not the biggest way, I think, that our lawmakers are influenced by defense contractors. There's something more subtle going on here that I think is actually the best explanation. And it has to do with this excellent map. This map was assembled by an Air Force veteran and analyst named Christian Sorensen. This map makes it easy to see how contractors intentionally allocate their operations all across the country, spanning dozens of states and political districts. Building all of this stuff means jobs, which people like. So lawmakers are incentivized to keep these contractors making stuff in their district, to provide jobs for their people so they can keep getting elected. It's honestly brilliant. It's smart. This is political engineering. You can see it very clearly with lawmakers like Roger Wicker, a senator from the state of Mississippi. Senator Wicker is a member of the U.S. Senate.
We should get rid of the Electoral College. I'd be down to just popular vote in the president, I'll be honest.
Committee on Armed Services, which plays a huge role in giving taxpayer money.
Because then like random fucking states like, I don't know, Ohio and Pennsylvania and all these fucking swing states, like then we can stop like fucking glazing and dick riding them and we can, you know, have people campaign appropriately across the country.
To the Pentagon, which in turn feeds the bottom line of contractors. Wicker loves the military. You often hear him advocating that we should spend way more on the military.
We need, in the United States, to spend more on defense. It's a necessity.
He writes op-eds in the New York Times calling for more shipbuilding. And when you look at his state, you realize, of course he does. The largest employer in Mississippi is this naval shipyard run by a defense contractor named Huntington Ingalls, which means more jobs and economic stimulus for Wicker's people in his state, which means a better likelihood of being reelected. Now, these defense contractors know that Senator Wicker is an important part of their bottom line, so they contribute huge amounts of money to his campaign to make sure he gets reelected. It's this virtuous cycle between Senator Wicker and the defense contractors that results in us spending more money on things that maybe we don't need to. Senator Wicker's job is to represent the American people. He sits on a committee that is supposed to be looking at our national security as a whole. And yet, thanks to the strategy of these for-profit defense contractors, this lawmaker has way too much incentive to advocate for more military spending, which is exactly what he does. My issue here is less with Senator Wicker or Congressman Mike Rogers, who has the same thing, sits on a committee, gives a bunch of money to the Pentagon, has a state where billions of dollars of defense contract money comes into.
Nothing but the tide, brother. Woo!
Takes tons of money from defense contractors for his campaign, gets reelected, continues to approve more money for the Pentagon, etc. My issue is with the system that allows this to happen, that allows the money from our military spending to be used to influence our lawmakers into more military spending. It's so clearly a conflict of interest. And it is this system that has created an environment where there is very little political pushback to the endless ratcheting up of our military budget.
You know, no congressperson wants to be the person who loses jobs in their district. Nobody wants to be the one known as shutting down a plant and people becoming unemployed. And so Lockheed can say, we have to have increased funding of this contract or you will lose jobs. And so that idea that jobs are essential, the Department of Defense spending is essential, really gives the contractor political power.
I will admit, it is a more complicated issue. And I'm glad they did this video, because like this is one of those things where like I feel like sometimes our basic response is, oh my God, the US spends so much money on the military. That's so fucking dumb. They should just cut that budget. It's like, well, what happens if we cut that budget? Like, who does that impact, right? Not saying we shouldn't cut the budget, but I'm saying it's like, it's good to like think about all of the facets of a given topic or issue, you know?
Let me make one point clear, which is that this isn't all corporate lobbying that contributes to the US spending so much on the military. That would be too lazy of an explanation. We live in a world where there's a well-documented paradox that explains that strong militaries are actually the key ingredient to avoiding conflict, in deterring an enemy from attacking.
This is true.
Keeping a balance between big militaries so that no one attacks. Maybe
There is a there are theories in political science, and this is going to get me in a lot of trouble on Twitter and elsewhere, but it's like something people need to consider. I have to think of my words very carefully here. I'm going to get in trouble for this, chat. Fuck, how do I say this? Oh, shit. 07's in the chat for this take. By the way, it's not a take. It's not that I believe this. It's almost like I need to see the counterfactual. Like I need to see the world in which this doesn't exist. But in studying political science, even a lot of the more like progressive or liberal political scientists, when discussing the dynamics of the New World Order post World War II, the strength, like the overwhelming strength and presence of the United States military like we technically are in the safest age. I know that's already a controversial take, but that is true. We are in the safest age when it comes to military conflict. And the question is, now, did it have to be the United States that had that overwhelming military? Not necessarily. It could have been any single power rising out of World War II that had an overwhelming military presence. Right. So when I say it's the safest age, and you say for us, when I say for us, I mean like for humankind. When it comes to military conflict, we are in the safest few decades in all of human history. It's not like like across all of humankind, right? So, you know, like one of the and that's not to be like, oh my God, like the U.S. incursion into Vietnam or the U.S. incursion into this state. Like, it's not to justify any of that or the spreading of U.S. power, but it is. There's like a broader question of like, what does a safer world look like? And if the United States after World War II had just pulled here's maybe like a counterfactual. What if the United States after World War II just pulled out of like, just went pure isolationist and just let the world be as it will? What would have, and just didn't spend money and didn't build out our military anymore? Like, what would have happened? I don't know. Would that have been a better world? I don't know. Maybe not. Right, like, I mean, would the Soviets have just like full on engaged in World War? Like, would they have started a full on World War III instead of the Cold War? Would we have had a World War III? Right. Say it in Fortnite terms. No one cancels Fortnite. Okay. What if because US Quickscoper had full shields and a gold sniper rifle and a gold rocket launcher and had the best loot in Tomato Town? What if that made it so that Tomato Town was actually safer because no one wanted to crank 90s against US Quickscoper? And that if US Quickscoper did not have all of the best loot, it would have encouraged all the other residents of Tomato Town to fight with each other more often. How is that?
Someday we won't need militaries, even close to the size that we have today. But it appears that in today's world we still do need big militaries with credible threats to avoid the age-old human curse of war. And yet on the other side of that paradox is the fact that if you grow your military, you force your adversary to do the same, to keep pace with you. The US and the Soviet Union did that for decades during the Cold War, each ratcheting up their military until suddenly both sides had over 10,000 nuclear warheads.
Yeah, so you get into the issue of arms races, but now we're in like a weird state where it's like, no one in the world really needs to arms race the US. Like, there's no real good incentive to do it. Like, you need to be kind of strong enough, but like, so if anything, it's like it's more valuable to develop your technologies or your capabilities in other ways, or wage economic war, which is what China has been doing, right? Obviously, they're still developing their military, but they're not going like full on Cold War spending, right? So
that is madness. It diverges from the rational, and yet it's the logical result when we decide that the main solution to beating our rivals is to just make more weapons.
As the US spends more, Russia, China, other countries are spending more. If you look at the discretionary budget, about 50% of that goes to the Department of Defense, and only 1 or 2% of that goes to the Department of State. You can see where our priorities are. A show of force is really the first foreign policy of the US.
For this one, the explanation is easy. Diplomacy is hard and complicated and long. It doesn't make leaders feel as powerful and secure as having a big military does. And no one's getting rich off diplomacy. And yet diplomacy, international law and organizations, treaties, cooperation, that is how we solve our differences.
The problem with this statement, and like, this is how I think a political scientist would respond to this statement. A philosopher, let me put it this way. A philosopher would agree with you. A psychologist would agree with you. A political scientist would disagree, because empirically we can look at how well treaties and international organizations and any form of cooperation between nation states has failed horribly, and literally sometimes then leads to the problematic conflicts in the future, right? Like, it's all well and good to say we should go the route of diplomacy and like that's the right thing to do, but like a political scientist would be like, hey, empirically that has not worked, so you need to like come up with you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. I'm not saying it's great the US has a giant army and all that. Obviously we should spend less on our military, but it is definitely a nuanced and complicated issue. This is one of the, love that Treaty of Versailles. Like, this is one of those issues where like, I feel like oftentimes it's very easy to look at this issue and be like, the United States spends way too much on their military. We should not spend money on our military, and like leave it at that, as opposed to doing the deep dive like they did in this video and talking about how it might affect, all these plants and workers in these various states and the economy and how it affects this, how it might affect the world order. Like, there's like a lot of just interesting nuance to it,
That is how we have learned to live peacefully on this globe. The fact is, no one ever achieved sustainable peace by spending more on their military. And finally, we have to remember that while we pour so much into our military, that is money that can't be spent elsewhere.
If we increase defense spending, that necessarily has to mean something else decreases. Bigger piece of the pie for defense, smaller piece of the pie for other things. And those other things might be healthcare, education, climate change, and so on. And then we can also think of this notion of security. What actually makes us secure? Does spending more on defense make us more secure? If you look at other sources of security, having good roads and bridges, having safe drinking water, these are all things that Americans need investment in to be safe, to be healthy. So we're economically secure. People have jobs that they can go to, funding for college. Those are all.
Well, I see, like this I fundamentally agree with. I look at also the state of our military now, and it's also just what the things we invest in, right? If you were to ask me, if you were to make me in charge of the policies, like make me president, I would 100% look at ways to reinvest what we're investing in the military into U.S. infrastructure that makes the country more stable and secure from like a people's perspective, that also then can provide jobs and bolster the economy in a way that the defense spending was doing. That's just like the general strategy I would employ. What that tactically looks like, hey, someone who actually knows what the fuck that is can go and do that.
All sources of security as well. So it's not just military security we need to think of when we think of the federal budget.
I deeply respect the men and women who work and serve the country in the military. But I think that our laws and norms around how much money we give to the military prevents us from assessing this situation clearly. The system we have incentivizes the wrong priorities. Priorities that have a lot more to do with profit margins of companies and the electability of lawmakers. All of this setting us on a path of infinite escalation that risks ending in disaster.
Totally not related to the topic. Can I ask you a sexual problem? Yeah. Fuck it. We're wilding out today. Hit me with it.
This is the most expensive sword ever sold at auction.
Oh my God.
This is
Wait, ever at auction?
Mm-hmm. Most expensive sword from a show or movie or entertainment. Sorry, I apologize. There's probably been something really cool from history that has been sold for more. This is a $400,000 sword that someone is soon to have. Lovely. She's
Longclaw, a Valyrian steel sword, originally the ancestral sword of House Mormont, with a bear on the pommel. Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, Commander Mormont, had it recast to be a wolf for Jon Snow. Don't ever fucking come at me with Game of Thrones trivia, chat. I will fuck you up. I will fuck you up.
She's gorgeous. She's heavy. She's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's a
Oh my God,
$400,000.
That's a house in Texas.
Yeah.
You're holding in your hands.
And that's a quarter of a
You
house
look
in
like
San
you're holding
Diego,
your breath.
so that's nothing.
Wow. So that's like 3 G-Wagons?
Yeah.
125 each?
I mean, this
130 for the base model?
this went 400, right? 400 or 425. Was it 425 or 400? 425. Just
Bro, imagine saying you have Jon Snow's sword. That's fucking sick.
When I sit in the throne, if I push myself all the way to the back, my feet don't touch the ground. So I sit forward a little bit.
I'm not sure.
But you're also not
Man, 6'2".
tall. Okay, go sit all the way back then. All the way back.
All the way back.
All the way back.
The actual Game of Thrones chair had to be made this way because they couldn't, it was impractical for them to make the actual Game of Thrones chairs it was supposed to be. So, welcome to Game of Thrones facts. For those who are wondering, how was the Iron Throne in Game of Thrones made in the lore? Well, so the actual Iron Throne comes about after at the completion of Aegon's conquest from it's the Fields of Fire. It is when I forgot which major house they watched Harren the Black burn at Harrenhal, and they were like, fuck that, we're gonna meet them out on the fucking fields of battle. So they fight the Targaryens on the field, and it's the only time when all 3 dragons were in combat together. The 3 dragons being Vhagar, Meraxes, and Balerion, the Black Dread, the one that Aegon rode. And it's called the Fields of Fire because the dragons just fucking burned everyone and just fucking obliterated them. And 40,000 troops died. And what they did was they took all of the swords, all 40,000 swords. Yeah, I can't remember the house. It was one of the OG Stormlords, because then the Baratheons, who were allies to the Targaryens, actually then become the Stormlords and get control of the Stormlands. They burn 40,000 people, and all 40,000 of the swords are then melted together to create the throne. And this is what it was supposed to look like. George R.R. Martin has said this artist is the one who accurately drew the Iron Throne. That's what the Iron Throne was supposed to look like. So you can see that for like a television show, there was no way they could accurately make that. Like, that throne is fucking insane. And what's funny is in season 3, they even make fun of the throne. I think it's like a conversation between Varys and Littlefinger where they're talking about the throne. He's like, there's not even like 1,000 swords here. There's only like 200 or something like that. They kind of like poke fun at the fact that, like, which obviously isn't real dialogue, because in the book lore, it looks like this. It's a fucking insane throne. The show one is really iconic, though. So, you know, good for them. The Lannister litter?
Oh my God, it smells. What does that mean?
That's you.
Mm.
Yeah. It only smelled when you stepped in. So this is the Lannister litter. It's it's freaking gorgeous, actually.
Yeah, it looks so nice.
Even the ceiling is draped, and there are comfortable couches.
Rent it out. It's like
Yeah. It'd be cool, like a cool Airbnb.
Dude, this is actually perfect for me
Yeah.
as a gift.
Well,
Is it
or you could
comfortable?
have won. You can come in, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
Is it like a weight capacity? Should I get out? Because Dave's like a tall.
No.
man.
We got. Yeah, no.
It's really cool.
I mean, Charles.
That's sick.
Oh my God.
Look, if you take a picture of Ray at any second of him in pain, it looks like you take it good from the back.
What? Alice, what?
What?
Or you're,
Alice, what the fuck?
or you're just,
Alice.
I'll show chat.
Oh.
By the way, I am so happy Ray did this because, dude, okay, hear me out, chat. Ray is exactly the kind of person. I know it sounds like I'm shitting on Ray, and I am. Ray's the kind of person who would be like, oh, tattoo is not maybe I'm channeling too much Ray Romanoff, actually. Oh, tattoo is not painful. It is fine, baby. But like, you know that if Ray was like, yeah, that shit fucking hurt, you know it hurts. To be fair, he also got a really sensitive area tattooed. But he, like this, the inner arm part right here, this is the devil's work. This area is horrible. I'm even a pussy because I don't even have this part filled in. This is awful. And then this is even more the devil's work. The fucking ribs, right? The people who say tattoos don't hurt or like only tickle, it's because they got like live, laugh, love in like little black ink, like, and it was like a 30-minute session. Dude, as soon as you're doing a piece like what Ray did, as soon as you're in there for like more than 3 hours, it is awful. It is horrible.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Oh my God.
Pain. Exhibit number 2.
Fuck, that smell hurts.
Pain.
Dude, can I?
Exhibit number 3.
Dude, you know the other thing, by the way, also more credit to Ray. I have thought about live streaming a tattoo for you guys. I can't do it. I will not live stream tattoo to you guys because I'm just in so much pain and I can't do it. I don't want to be on fucking camera or be mic'd. I just wouldn't. So honestly, props to him for doing this. And he got a fucking.
Do you see what Alice is doing?
You guys are going to bed together, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We live together, sexual style.
Oh my God. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We hold hands.
Okay. I want to get to where you're at. Oh no. Oh God, dude. Oh man, dude.
Be careful what you wish for. Would you rather eat a baby goat?
Yugi!
Or matter baby?
Wait, what? What? Wait, what?
Eat a baby goat?
Eat a baby goat?
Or matter baby?
Or a what baby?
Or what?
Or a what baby? Or a what baby? What's a matter baby?
Oh.
Eat a baby goat?
What's the matter? I get it. Okay. I fell for it too. I get it. Okay, fuck. Okay. You know what?
time information. Like they're obviously a producers in their ear being like, here's what's going on, or they're just trying to remember and repeat whatever they fucking heard in an effort to be as informative as possible. You go back to Anderson Cooper and it's like, I'm touching a styrofoam on the ground. As you can see, this is the Manatee River water and the land water, a different type of water that you normally see inside of the Manatee River.
Continues on its track north, and then you've got all of the flooding, you've got all of the rain out by Lake Okeechobee and even central parts of Florida, and so all of that water is coming in from the central part of Florida, and then you've got all of that water coming in from the Gulf of Mexico. And when all of that comes together,
Dude, imagine you're like the Vanderbilt family and you go back in time and you're like, hey, listen, Vanderbilts, you guys are literally one of the wealthiest families that has ever existed in human history. You have insane amounts of, guess what? Few generations, you guys are going to absolutely blow through all that money. You're going to fucking be completely cooked. And your like last living legacy is going to be reporting on a fucking hurricane getting blasted by. Do you guys know about Anderson Cooper being one of the Vanderbilts? You guys know about this? Vanderbilt family. Yeah, shipping and railroad empire of Cornelius Vanderbilt. He's probably still worth a fuck ton of money, I'll be honest. But here's the thing, him being worth 50 million, if someone said he's worth 50 million, that's nothing compared to what they had. He's not broke. Oh, he's broke compared to old Vanderbilt standards, but he's not broke compared to. Oh, wait, they said, where was Anderson Cooper? I just saw him. Anderson Cooper. There he is. They had Jeff Bezos-ish. I think they had more. And someone can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe the railroad and oil tycoons in the Gilded Age, by amount of money in circuit, like they actually had, in terms of like percentage of wealth, they had more. I'm talking like Rockefellers, Vanderbilts. There was like a few others. I think if they had their equivalent of wealth today, they'd be trillionaires. It was insane. How much would the Rockefellers be worth today? I guess that is that Bezos money? Like that's up there, right? So Rockefeller would have been 200 to 400 billion. Carnegie would have been 300 to 700 billion. There's the Vanderbilt, 100 to 250 or 215 billion. They would have been in the hundreds of billions. What's Jeff Bezos' net worth? 200. So yeah, they would. So you're right. It would have been Bezos money. Graham, thanks for the 46 months. Blau quit yapping. It's the React content you always dreams of, Crams. This is all you ever care about. I did it. No RP today. We're gonna play Detroit Become Human, but I might just do that for tomorrow. I'm gonna play this. I gotta pee.
No red vision, man. Please. No. No. It's okay. Avoid it. Avoid it entirely. We can avoid.
Because Michael and I are gonna fuck. That's right.
We're gonna what?
We are going to have sex.
Oh.
And it's gonna be hot. So enjoy it. We're going to.
Oh, okay. I mean, all right. Fair enough.
Break.
Fair enough, I guess. Okay. Is she just like dead? What the frick?
Okay. Actually, on that note, chat.
Quit the yapping.
What the fuck? I literally just heard myself say that. That was fucking... Okay. We have, for Spooktober, Alien Isolation. I don't know why I'm numbering them. That's dumb. Okay. Until Dawn. There's the new A Quiet Place. That's coming out. Silent Hill. Honestly, I think that's a good list. This is the one we're 100% playing the day it comes out. That's on the 17th. And then we need to figure out what we're doing. I still need to figure out what I'm doing for my birthday. And I do want to play Until Dawn, though. So. Oh, the Zoo one, too. Was it good, though? Zoocosis? Oh, I have a Liar's Bar lobby coming up. Maybe some Fears to Fathom, too. Yeah. Oh, we could do Solo Lethal Company, too. The Wolf Among Us Part 2? Ooh. Yeah, that could be good, actually.
The other day, I was hanging out with Haley's cousins, and they had all this stuff from TikTok Shop, and they kept saying things like mogging and am I cooked chat, and I have no idea what any of that stuff
Am I cooked chat
means. For the first time in my life, I feel old. So today, I am re-downloading TikTok, buying the first 100 TikTok Shop ads I see, and by the end of this video, I'm
crashing out, chat.
Meet back up with Haley's cousins, but this time, I'm gonna fit in.
This is a bad idea.
I'm gonna say this, dude, and this is for like young Gen Z and for Gen A. Here's the problem. All of the weird niche shit that millennials had on the internet, that shit we kept to ourselves. Like all the weird fucking Flash games and like random videos we watched on like Newgrounds and like all the like dumb shit that we like, it was contained within ourselves. The problem with you guys, like all your random fucking memes and weird shit everyone else sees, and so we're all like, what the fuck? That's the biggest issue.
Here we go.
Mog tape.
Mog tape. The ad I saw for this product was honestly insane. If you want to be the Sigma and Riz your crush this year, then you need this. The packaging on the Mog tape is pretty nice. It's breathable, gentle, hypoallergenic, and it just works. I don't know what it's supposed to do.
Chat was mogging. I know what mewing is, but I don't know if I know what mogging is. What was mogging?
But it does it. The back just clearly feels like I got scammed. Like, why is there a shushing emoji next to the title of the product? Apparently, you just put the tape on your mouth and you start mogging.
I think you're supposed to do that.
It just looks like I got a mustache.
It's so you don't breathe out of your mouth? What the fuck?
I got the fancy toaster. I bought it. It has all these settings: bread, bagel, pastry, waffle, English
This looks
muffin,
like
grain.
shit.
It also lets you select how cooked you want your bread to be visually. Let's see how good this toaster is going in. I'm thinking a light 4. That's what it should look like. Let's see.
So it's like I mog you if like we take a picture and I try to look better in it. Gotcha.
goodness. Doesn't have much weight to it. Holy moly. My bread is gonna be toasting for a total of 3 minutes. The TikToks promoting this toaster are all over the place, but every single one of them comes back to the point that it is the fanciest toaster you will ever own. But I don't care if it looks nice. I want this to be the best toast I've ever had. That actually looks perfect. Pretty cool toaster.
Okay.
I actually cannot wait to use this lav mic. You guys know me. I love lav mics. I'm using one right now. This was $5.77.
There's no
Just
way
watch
this is good.
I wanted to test the wireless mics to see
There
how
is
well the
no
whiskey
way
stays
a
works in the worst condition.
$5 mic works.
The lawnmower should go away. This guy's lawn's still getting cut though. Don't worry, buddy.
So let's see if it's legit.
There's no
All right,
way.
guys, so this is the normal iPhone audio, but I'm going to be testing out this microphone right here. It was literally $5. I'm just going to plug this in, and you should notice a difference in the audio. Listen closely. All right, what do we think? Do we think this is pretty good audio? Let me know if I should use it.
Oh, God.
Everybody's asking, Ryan, which credit card sleeve did you get? Ryan, did you get the one with SpongeBob? No, I got this one. I'm at Taco Bell. I really don't understand the purpose of this. I guess it's like a fun way to customize your credit cards and maybe even conceal information that you don't want out there. I'm gonna make a purchase and hopefully get a chuckle out of it. Can I just get a Baja Blast?
They're doing it.
Awesome. I'm known for my pranks, but this is gonna be the craziest one yet.
This is a shitty YouTube prank. It doesn't... Listen, Ryan, this is a horrible YouTube prank. It's not invasive enough, and it doesn't piss the other person off or endanger them. Shitty prank.
You guys take Monopoly money? Sure. It's a credit card sleeve. It's a little prank. They didn't even laugh a little bit.
Bro, nowadays they fucking like throw drinks back at them. Fucking, there's the one guy goes up to Papi Muñano or whatever to fucking people's ears and cause them to fucking fall over.
I'm still in the Taco Bell drive-thru. This item is perfect because I tried to make them laugh and they didn't like me, so now I can impress them with materialistic things. $11. If someone told me this was 10K, I'd believe them. The TikToks of people flexing this is like, honestly, I respect it. See how it looks on me. Yo, that looks like it costs $1 million. Right. Can I get a Baja Blast?
Anything else?
That's gonna be it.
Alright, it'd be 280 at the window.
Already finished my Baja Blast. Gotta make sure they can see the watch.
Back already.
Sorry, it was so good. I just had to.
You want to try a gelato?
Yeah. Oh yes, I saw this on TikTok.
Yeah.
Is it pretty good?
I think they're pretty good.
Okay, cool. Oh, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
Wow.
See you guys. All right.
It turns out
I wear the watch, and they give me free Baja Blast gelato and a Cinnabon. I have an idea. If Taco Bell liked the watch, just wait until they see the Lambo. I knew this was going to be a scam the whole time, so honestly, this is kind of fun. Like, I'm actually excited about this. I didn't know if it would drive with me in it, but look at this.
Let's just go to the window.
Get another Baja Blast.
What can I get for you?
I just like another Baja Blast. All right. Thank you, King.
Bro, Ryan Trahan just respectfully going and ordering Baja Blast at a Taco Bell with the stuff he brought from the TikTok shop. This is the YouTube I want. Not Jack Doherty trying to start fights with people while he has his fucking bodyguards protect them.
That was my last one, I promise. All right, see you guys. All right.
Wow, what a like respectful and nice. Dude, I love Ryan Trahan's content, dude.
This is probably the first official scam of the video. In the TikToks that I saw, this jersey looks incredible. It looks pretty underwhelming in person, but hey, it's an Ohtani jersey. At least we got that going for us. He's an amazing baseball player, right? The back doesn't even say Ohtani. Did they print it with invisible ink? This is crazy. The listing clearly shows that it has Ohtani on the back, but it doesn't. I don't understand because literally every TikTok has Ohtani on the back. This looks nothing like what I bought online. I love electronics. I love looking at them online, but I'm worried that people are getting a little bit too good at marketing on TikTok Shop. This camera was $47. The girl that was promoting this camera called it the viral 4K digital camera. The part of me thinks if you're trying to sell something, you just put viral in front of it, and then all of a sudden you sell them. Regardless, she made money off of me. So let's try it out. This camera is pretty nice. It has a flip out screen, which is really surprising. I guess let's just try to take a photo. Okay, that was fun, but one way you can definitely tell this is a TikTok Shop item, there's a beauty face filter that you can turn on built into the camera.
Oh, God. That was bad. That's the worst one.
This is definitely one of the most intriguing items of this video. The TikTok's crazy. I don't know what it is. Is it a cake or not? She's selling it as a candle. It's so funny. All the comments are like, how do you make the bread rise like that? And she's just gatekeeping. She's not telling us. So here it is. It smells like food. It looks like food. Let's light it on fire. How I feel about eating anything that I bought on TikTok, but this looks like a pretty good deal. Every TikTok that I've seen featuring a chamoy pickle, it literally looks like their hands are going to be stained red for the rest of their lives. The fact that you can pour out the liquid that this pickle has been sitting in and it looks like pure red 40, it's concerning at best. I'm terrified of pretty much anything that's spicy.
Fun fact, chat, did you guys know that red 40 is made from the dye of a crushed parasitic insect? That's how they make red 40. Fucking insects.
And candy just probably shouldn't be spicy. Can we all agree on that? But here's what comes in a bus.
Maybe it's not red 40. It's maybe it's a different one.
Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Some spicy Lucas. More Lucas. This is, yeah, spicy gummies. A fruit roll-up. Medical gloves. Okay, I don't like where this is going. I really dislike where this is going now. And a big Tex pickle. I bought a pickle on TikTok. I'm opening this up in a plastic bag because I don't want to stain my carpet forever. So this is what the inside of the pickle bag looks like. It just pretty much looks horrible. So before I prepare my worst nightmare, I literally am so scared to eat something like that. I'm eating each of the ingredients one by one. The hot Cheetos are pretty good. These are hotter than I remember. The spicy spaghetti was actually pretty solid. There's also this hot sauce. I just tried a dab and it was a bit too much for me. This stuff was actually really good, but finally it's time to prepare a chamoy pickle.
Why?
If I was in the Avengers, this is all they would need to stop me. I hate everything that this stands for, but I'm trying to get Haley's cousins to think I'm cool. So, this is for you, Haley.
Oh, this is hard for me to watch this. That's so gross. Yeah.
This was one of the first TikTok ads that I saw after re-downloading the app. I love that he slices his hot dogs. This man knows how to elevate his life with the little things.
Is slicing your hot dogs good?
And just like that, you've got yourself a perfect dog. You don't have to get that close when I take the bite. You don't have to... All right, we can go to the next one. Frankly, the only reason that I bought this is because the girl who uploaded this TikTok is a master salesman. Watch this.
OMG, this is the best thing I have ever ordered from this app. Look at this cereal dispenser. Like what?
She seems stoked about this product. Let's put some cereal in it.
This looks like it could be kind of good if you're one of those people who does this.
How does it work? How do you dispense? I need help. I can't stop spilling things. The cake from the train video. The tea. Oh my gosh. The coffee. Will it ever end? I was already upset that I spilled a bunch of cereal, but also it only dispenses 1 grain of cereal at a time. Like just 1.
That looks like that's awful.
This is called a Kraken. This guy invented a product where pretty much you just stab it into a drink or a jar of peanut butter or, worst case scenario, Vaseline, and try to drink it really quickly. I'm responsible, but I'm also...
Bro, I feel like you're gonna shotgun a beer. You gotta do it, you know, fucking the crazy way, you know?
So today we're gonna be trying this product out with Diet Mountain Dew. Good luck, everybody.
Oh, it actually works pretty well, it seems.
Holy smokes. That's one way to ingest 12 ounces of Diet Mountain Dew.
It actually seems like it worked. Oh, this looks awful.
This is a deep tissue neck massager. It's about $35 on TikTok Shop. Specifically this TikTok that says, I let my father-in-law test out the viral massager. Look at his reaction. I don't know whose father-in-law this is, but he sold me this product. Without further ado, let's plug this thing in. Oh. Oh, whoa.
It blew his mind.
I'm a grown man. The weird thing about this listing is I think if you buy it, they just send you a random inflatable. This is not the one I bought. The one I bought had the kiwi on it, like the kid was playing with. It looks like instead of the kiwi, I got that, whatever that is. I'm gonna have some fun now. All right, guys, so the first thing I did was have fun with this Ray Blaster. Climbed up the bouncy house, headed straight to the slide. You already know what I did. Slid down that bad boy, stood up completely unharmed, decided to start punching this target. You guys know I have a pretty mean haymaker, so I literally cut a hole in it, and that's all the fun I got to have with this item. We've got an old man mask. All right. TikToks like this are honestly like my least favorite kind of content on the internet. I just don't know many people that would actually be scared by an old person. That's pretty much just what it is. With that being said, let's try it on.
That would scare me.
I think it just tore. It just tore immediately. This was such a waste of money. I was actually really excited about this electric.
Yeah, I do actually kind of want something that trims my nose hairs. This would be kind of nice if it works.
Nose trimmer? I mean, I don't got crazy nose hairs or anything, but we all have our days. It's $12, which anything that's electronic, I'm kind of surprised when it's fairly cheap. But if you want to talk about being surprised, I got scammed. This is not electronic at all. It's a piece of metal. You have to manually trim your nose hairs with this thing. Are you kidding me? What is this from? The Stone Age? I'm sorry for the eye contact. I got ripped off.
Wait, you just got ripped? Wait, what?
I'm about to put you on. These are gonna change your life. I gotta watch a video real quick. I need that. I watched a quick tutorial about how these work, and now you're about to watch a handsome guy absolutely
Bro, remember when Heelys came out back in the day? That shit was gas, dude.
red. And they look just like regular shoes. How's it going? But can regular shoes...
Oh my God, chat. What if I was an early 2000s kid for Halloween and I got Heelys? Chat, join the Discord, go to the Halloween channel, and someone cook me together a like 90s kid Halloween outfit that includes Heelys. I'm running that. Give me light up, give me Heelys is the base of it, and then give me the rest of the outfit. In the Discord, Halloween channel, right now.
Let's do this.
I don't think you could use them on like pavement.
This next one is genuinely absurd. You have to watch this video for yourself. This guy has the wireless mic and everything, and he's kind of handsome. Look at this. Guys, you gotta see this. Somebody made this candy called Joyride. Now, I know you're thinking, Ryan, we know that's you. No, it isn't. Look at this. This is a blue raspberry sour strip. No fake colors, no junk ingredients. It's fire. Joyride is the next candy up, I'm telling you. They don't sell on TikTok Shop, but if you live in America, go get it at Target. Target, I'm saying. Joyride's trying to become the top selling candy in Target with no fake colors or junk ingredients, but they only have this much shelf space. This much. And guess who's #1 selling candy at Target? Nerds Gummy Clusters. I wonder why. So guys, let's help them go get more shelf space. Go buy Joyride in Target right now. It's the best candy in the world. You won't regret it. I thought that would be a creative way to tell you guys to go to Target and get Joyride. Hopefully it worked. Next up, we got mewing gum. This is supposed to give you a jawline from another planet. I should look like a different species after chewing this gum. The TikTok that I saw promoting this product, he definitely had a transformation that I'm hoping is not real. I'm hoping that his jaw does not look like that. But regardless, let's give this a shot. Comes with quite a bit of gum.
There's nothing.
Oh, it's actually really hard. I'll go for 2 pieces. I don't know. It says to chew for 5 to 15 minutes for maximum results. So
This is how you get T&J.
here's
Also,
my face
Ryan already has a nice jawline.
before mewing gum, and here's my face after. Let me know if you notice a difference.
Oh, yeah, I did. He looks great.
Uh-oh, nighttime. Randomly nighttime clip. I have never seen people try to sell a product as much as people try to sell this projector. People are doing
I
stage
just saw the ad
scenes
for
to
this.
try to sell this thing. This TikTok is crazy.
Yo, you want some ramen?
What are you doing? Turn off the lights. I'm finna die.
Bro, what do you mean you about to die? Are you a vampire or something?
Bro, look up.
Oh, snap.
Well, it worked on me.
Oh,
Hey, Spock. Spock's trying to go under the covers. Don't judge me. Don't judge me that I sleep with a chihuahua. This projector has a lot of tall promises. It also comes with a remote with no batteries. I had to put the batteries in myself. I got it all plugged in, so without further ado, let's watch some YouTube.
Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
All right.
We're Costco guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
Nice.
I hate it.
So it's a Bluetooth
That's gas. Wait, this is sick. This is amazing.
speaker that you attach to Crocs. The
A Bluetooth giblet or whatever? This
Crocs in
is
this
sick.
video have to go down in history. That is a Sprite giblet, a Bluetooth speaker, and headlights. It actually looks like he might commute to work in these things. It's got the little giblet attachment here. I've got my Crocs from when I went to Shrek Swamp, and I've actually never added a giblet to a pair of Crocs before, so let's give it a shot. Here goes nothing.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Imagine that playing on a 10-hour loop as I walk through the mall.
That's actually worth it. That's actually amazing. That's sick.
What are you doing in my swamp?
Well, here we are. 2 weeks after buying and testing 100 TikTok shop ads, I asked Haley's cousins to meet up. You see, in the past, they've only ever looked at me as cringe and old. But thanks to TikTok shop, those days are gone.
Mog, yeah.
All right, thanks so much for watching. I'm trying to get my candy, Joyride, to become the #1 selling candy.
Bro, if you were cousins with Ryan Tran, dude, like you'd be fucking legit at your school, dude. That's sick. That was amazing. All right. No, that was incredible. What is this?
What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number?
My name?
Yeah.
Officer 5 here. All right.
And what's the badge number?
442.
Good boy.
That's fucked up. Oh, my last thing to show you guys today, chat. Even though Krams has been, sending me these degenerate TikToks that and God knows what my editors watch that fuck up my algorithm, we're trying to get onto this algorithm. This is the wholesome side of TikTok. Welcome. Palace cats.
Play will help them to hone their own hunting skills. A silver vole finds itself the center of the kitten's attention. The key is a silent, patient approach. Alas, on these rocks, a vole has the upper hand.
Oh, big kitty yawn. Sigma on the wall. Who is
Fortunately,
the
the kittens
skittiest
can
of
rely
them
on their
all?
mother
I hate that.
to provide.
I hate that. And we will never mod Krams. All right, chat. That's all for today. I would be doing Until Dawn now, but I actually have an event to go to later tonight. So, and again, I got to ease myself back into the longer streams. I'm also kind of chilling while I wait to move. So, We'll do our longer streams and hopefully starting tomorrow, but definitely on my birthday on Tuesday. Let me know what things you guys want to see for the birthday stream. We are doing a drunk Valo customs on my birthday. And some other shit. So that'll be fun. We'll do the roast of Blau then. What else do we have going on? I don't know. Yeah, we have more stuff coming up. I'll let you guys know what we're streaming tomorrow, but tomorrow should be Detroit Becomes Human. That's right. Oh, for my birthday, yeah, I think we'll maybe do like a Mickey bank plan would be fun. Thank you guys for all the follows. Thanks for the subs coming in today. Infrequent streams over the next week because I'm moving. Birthday stream will be big, but infrequent streams. In about a week, maybe a week and some change, we'll be back to new streams and a new setup, and we'll be streaming much more regularly because I owe you guys, and generally I want to do all of these games for Spooktober. Alien Isolation, Until Dawn, A Quiet Place, Silent Hill, Zoocosis. So, Blau, do you still play GTA? Here and there. Guys, thanks for the fun stream. Yo, by the way, chat, thanks for coming in here and talking to me about robots and AI and all that good shit, you know? That was fun conversations. Love that shit. I will see you guys tomorrow. Big stream tomorrow. We'll do some Detroit Become Human and some other stuff. GG's. 07s.
Happy birthday.
I'll see you guys
I like
tomorrow.
the discussion streams. Smile.
Thank you for the 46 months, Fiery Death. Birthday stream on Tuesday. We're going to be planning some fun stuff for it. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Yeah, we can raid Elm. Bye, chap. Join the raid, join the raid, join the raid, join the raid. I think they're playing Liar's Dice. Get in there. Or Liar's Bar, whatever. Bye, chap.